Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Time to mute the Twitch stream.
Yeah, we don't want double voices. Hearing one of me is more than enough for anybody, I assure you. Okay, let me fiddle around with the audio a little bit here. That looks alright. Anybody
Can
in
we be
chat?
heard on stream now?
You should now be able to be heard on stream, yes.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Good. The audio bar's
Ah,
jumping up.
excellent. Yes, I can hear myself on stream.
Marvelous. It's jumping up
Okay.
about the same level as me, so hopefully everybody can hear you. Chat, if you can't hear the players,
Stream
let me know.
delay was. Okay, but can chat hear this?
I mean, I heard it, so
Excellent.
assuming they can too. Alright, let me go.
I see your Wilhelm scream and raise you a.
That was way too loud.
I think I have mine
I
turned
need
way
to, yeah, I
down.
need to I've just started putting together this soundboard. I just have the few sounds that I need immediately.
Hmm.
I will have to be working on assembling this, improving the soundboard in the future.
Okay. Well, if everybody's ready, I'm going to get us started. So, you find yourselves in a fair-sized town, the town of Girdleberg. You have been sent here by your mentor, who is a being known mostly as They Who Cut the Threads. Their proper name is the Crawling Demise.
Boy.
And
Okay.
they are,
Wait, why are we working for this guy again?
because they are the absolute biggest sweetheart that you have ever met in your life. They're legitimately invested in your progress as a wizard. They always find time between raiding villages and committing mass murders to help you guys out. Just
Sounds
just
like
a
a good
real
guy.
good thing. Whatever they are. They have sent you on a mission. You are to retrieve an artifact known as the Aspect Helm. It is currently on display at the Elidora Ruby Shadow Memorial Museum of Natural Wizardry. It's on loan. This is the 100th anniversary of the museum's founding, so they've got a bunch of special artifacts in. They don't necessarily reflect their theme of natural wizardry, but they have in common that they were all discovered by Elidora Ruby Shadow. And the Aspect Helm is one of them. It's in the Ancient Wizardry exhibit, and your boss wants it, so your job is to get it. You're a few streets away, kind of looking at the building. It's a truly massive two-story converted mansion, basically. You can see that it's got two broad wings coming off the side, and in the very middle it's got a tall, sort of bubble-shaped atrium window that you can kind of see inside a little bit. And you see that it's fairly bustling. There's a lot of people coming to and fro, a lot of people headed inside, a lot of people hanging outside. There's like hot dog carts and things.
That's
Because
gonna ruin our plan of the just, solving problems with incredible violence. Too many civilians.
I mean, your
Nah.
boss isn't opposed to that, but they did say that it would be nice if nobody got massacred today.
Oh.
Well, here, they're kind of
Well, I
off doing
mean,
their own
think
thing.
about it. It's a museum of wizardry. Those are gonna be more wizards that are gonna make it hard. That are probably gonna decide to be heroes and try and stop us from stealing the aspect helm for the he who cuts the threads.
Could be. On that note, as you guys are kind of lurking in an alleyway and planning how you want to do this, why don't I get you each to introduce yourself and your characters very quickly? I'm just going to go in the reverse order on the Discord here. Can we start with you, Sick?
Yeah. I am playing Bug. He is a essentially just the lovable oaf. Big, like 10-foot tall, muscular ogre. He wears a tiny wizard's hat, which is constantly falling off, so he has to keep a hand on it to keep it on. He wields just a massive axe he found and a big piece of wooden debris as a shield.
Okay. Alright, sounds good. And Mr. Muffin's Magical Madness, could we get you next?
I am playing Fleckwick. He is roughly 6 foot tall, has a very, very loose, kind of grayish beard, obviously dyed. And it is just, there's a little bit of juice in it perpetually. In terms of, he's relatively, obviously does not care too much about his appearance.
Alright, good stuff. And it's a poorly drawn scroll. Can you go next?
Yes, I can. I am playing the Goon. You see, the Goon is a professional goon. You know this because he's got a red short-sleeved t-shirt that says Professional Goon in big white letters across the front, and Goon Squad in all caps with a 8 on the back and the same kind of lettering. He's got Catco cargo shorts. He's got a backwards navy colored ball cap on his head for pulling squirrels out of. He's got various burlap sacks tied around his waist with different symbols on them because, I mean, what goon doesn't have a sack for his money, his diamonds, his wallets, you know, that sort of stuff. Nobody's quite sure what they look like because they've got too many bandanas on their head and a pair of sunglasses, so their facial features are completely obscured. They're decently muscled, and of course they have a lead pipe, because what self-respecting goon doesn't either have a lead pipe, a knife, or I guess not a knife. What self-respecting goon doesn't have a lead pipe, a shiv, or a pair of brass knuckles? You know.
Gotta have at least one. Alright, good stuff. Emily, last but not least.
I am elmlily. I am playing as Frannie Wickbell. She is a beautiful lady with cloven feet and a long face. Well, she's a minotaur, horns and all, hairy chest and all, but you can't see it. She is wearing armor underneath the biggest tube dress that anyone could find. It is long, all the way down to the floor, and it is dark pink with the frilly sleeves. And she is well groomed besides that. She wields nothing but a charming personality.
Alright, good stuff. Okay, so that's our cast of wizards. As I mentioned, you guys are outside of the museum right now, a little distance away, so you can view the comings and goings. I should mention that your mentor has also given you a few things to help you out. Most importantly is you have a little tiny thimble-sized replica of the Aspect Helm. It's sort of a oxidized, bronze-colored thing that would fit over your whole head. It's got a pair of round eye holes and a whole bunch of weird mechanical-looking bits and bobs around it. You've been told that the helm can reshape itself, reconfigure itself into different forms. If within 5 feet of this replica, somebody speaks the word bungle, it will expand to full size and serve as a replacement. You can swap it out if you get the opportunity. That's just a suggestion. If you get the helm another way, that's fine. In order to get you inside the museum, if you choose to go during the day, you've been given 4 copper rings, one for each of you. That should be enough to pay admission. Most places don't use currency because wizards can kind of just conjure coins. Doesn't really work. And you have also been given 2 live chickens for the gift shop to trade. They are not... Go ahead.
What does he who cuts the thread want from the gift shop?
They did not specify. Just, you know, pick me up something, that sort of thing. They like to collect tchotchkes and doodads. Also, I should specify that the chickens are not in cages or bags or any other sort of thing. Just one of you is just holding 2 chickens.
Well, you know, as any self-respecting goon has, I've actually got a burlap sack with a picture of a chicken on it, so we can put the chickens in there.
Perfect.
Perfect. You've got a bag of 2 live chickens, and they are not pleased.
We should probably take care of that first then. Get these off our hands.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
we should.
yeah, go ahead.
I guess. Yeah, we can go into the museum, get the thing from the gift shop, and I guess scout out the location of the aspect helm.
Sure. Alright, so casually approaching the museum, walking down the street, you see that there is a security guard out front who is taking admission. He is accepting whatever people are offering in barter and just kind of tossing it through some kind of extra-dimensional wormhole. Presumably it's all being collected and counted. Worth mentioning is that the security guard is a 15-foot-tall ogre, a fair bit bigger than Bug, actually.
That means he's got a bigness of at least 14, depending on how skinny he is.
He is not particularly skinny.
Okay, so a bigness of 16 probably then. Okay, so maybe we can't just beat our way into the... maybe we can't solve all of our problems with violence. That's going to be inconvenient.
We can die trying.
It's always an option.
Goons are professionals at dying. You know?
It's true, life expectancy is very low.
Hmm.
Alright, so you guys gonna get in line, or having second thoughts, or what?
I think we can probably get in line. I mean, he doesn't have a reason to turn us inside out yet.
Are any of us smart enough to scout around the location, see for like alternate entrances?
I don't know,
Nope.
are any of you?
Windows? I sure as hell I'm not.
Smartness. Why is there no smartness stat in Best Wizard Ever?
Because everyone's
Because
an
everybody's an idiot. Yep.
idiot. Yeah.
That's the line.
Thank you all.
Good job.
So we were handed this map prior to coming out here, right?
Yes, this is from a brochure. Presumably they have more of these things inside, but you do have one in advance of your little heist.
So everybody knows there's a back door, only accessible to the staff. It would probably be easier to get out from there than to get in. Especially once we cause a hilarious disturbance that requires all staff inside the museum.
See, I suppose the question is how many more of a big guy out front do they have?
Is he the biggest and the strongest? Is he just the muscle? Because sometimes you can tell the strongness from the bigness. Sometimes they're not related at all, like in the case
Well,
of...
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. My guy is 6 foot tall, or around 6 foot tall and well muscled, but the muscles are just there to look cool. All right, he's got a strongness of 3.
Right, yeah.
Uh,
There's no way to know that for sure on this security guard guy unless we arm wrestle him. Then we can find out how strong he is.
I think we should. I think our best bet is to just pretend like we're normal people, go through, see what's in the museum, what might be useful for us, and then make our way to and figure out where they're keeping the aspect helm. Get some knickknacks. Get a knickknack from the gift shop, and then figure out our plan from there.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
And to me as
Now,
well.
first, wreak havoc later.
We are currently waiting in line.
Yep. The line's sort of moving in fits and starts. They're kind of letting people in bunches, you know, because they're so busy on this special occasion. It seems that they're making an effort to control traffic. You're gratified to notice that the crowd is extremely mixed. Like in most places, it's probably majority human, but you also see all kinds of other weirdos, just like a guy with a cactus for a head. You see there's like a gaggle of cat boys that are all tittering and excited to do literally anything you imagine. there appears to be like a small dragon with a top hat.
Cute.
So
you know, the Goon is actually half cactus.
I expected.
Yeah, I think I can see it. See the resemblance there. So yeah, although you, some of you are certainly taller than the majority and visible over their heads, you don't stand out that much.
Oh.
And as the line is moving along, eventually you find yourselves up near the front, and the big old ogre kind of looks down at you, even the big ones of you, and just
Hello.
holds out a giant meaty catcher's mitt of a fist for admission.
Big meaty claws.
Like somebody mistake his intention and take it. Gauge
Uh,
his strength.
We have these 4 copper rings.
Mm-hmm.
Would that suffice for admission?
You hand over the 4 copper rings. The ogre lifts up some kind of blow dryer looking thing, points it at the rings in his hand, and then nods and like tosses them through the extra dimensional portal and says, "Rings good." And then he pulls out a rubber stamp and stamps each of you on the back of the hand so that you can be readmitted anytime on the same day, free of charge.
That's convenient.
And then he waves you through into the main hall.
Alright, he doesn't sound too slick. We might be able to use that to our advantage at some point.
Maybe.
How forceful was the hand stamping?
I'm not gonna say it didn't hurt, but like you're not injured at all.
He wasn't trying. How much resistance did you give him?
I mean, if you want, Bug in particular, you could always exchange the traditional ogreish greeting of a punch to the face.
That sounds amazing. I would like to get punched first.
Okay, so you just kind of like walk up with a big friendly smile to your fellow ogre, who obviously he recognizes what you are, even though you're a bit smaller than him.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of slug each other in a friendly manner, and you're both smiling. So you receive 1 scratched and bruised wound from the punch. But you also gauge that this ogre is a little bit stronger than you. Not a whole lot, but a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. We got somebody wounded already.
Yeah, now might be a good time to get my character sheet.
Fortunately, a scratched and bruised wound doesn't give you any kind of penalty. It's just 1 step closer to being beat up.
Oh, I'm okay. I can take lots of those.
Big man.
You do also see, since you're close enough, that there is a gigantic club leaning against the wall behind this guy, so if he actually wanted to hurt you, he has other options.
Yeah.
If he's using a club, if he has a knack for them, that means he's actually quite slick, but can I use my goon capabilities to attempt to judge how slick of a man this ogre looks to be? I'm assuming they're a man. They might not be a man.
Looks like a dude. That may be something you can do. What exactly is the process of gauging somebody's slickness? You have to explain that to me first.
I have to think of it first.
Kind of like...
Try and
How
give him
would
a
you
secret
gauge them?
handshake.
Sorry, say again?
Don't extremely slick people just have an aura of slickness?
Yeah, can't you just like adjust your sunglasses while you look at him and go, I'm sizing him up.
Yes, that's what I'm going to... I'm gonna find a corner where he's not quite looking at me, and just size him up a bit. Lean forward with my hand on my chin and rub it a bit, and try and sniff his vibes,
Okay. You try to do that basically while he's taking admission. And what you notice is that this ogre accidentally punches himself in the nose while attempting to scratch the back of his head. You do not anticipate a particularly slick ogre in this case.
Excellent. Okay, so he's probably just going to be using that club with strongness then.
Yeah.
I need to actually let me check Nax again. Is Nax? Do you have to use sticks with
You don't have to. Even if you have a knack, if you think, I don't know, I really want to do a scratched and bruised wound with no chance of a crit, then you have that option.
Okay, so sticks is a slickness thing, and sticks is clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Small clubs, though.
Yeah.
So,
This is more of a tree. He's got a tree.
I'm not
Hammers
sure
applies
which
to heavy clubs.
hammers
uses
applies
his,
to heavy clubs.
Bigness stat.
Bigness. That's not good.
Yeah. Okay.
And those do busted on a crit. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's the one that says you should probably see a doctor, so.
You probably should. That's a serious one.
Mm-hmm.
But fortunately, the ogre is not swinging that club at you right now. He's just kind of shoving you through one of the revolving doors into the museum, which you are actually gratified to note there's no way this guy can fit through.
Oh.
How useful.
So now that you're
Do we know
inside,
how I wonder how big the back door is then.
well, that
Or
remains
does
to
this
be
guy
seen.
just
Somebody has to like bring him out his uniform to change into.
bro comes in through the loading dock in the back?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Speaking of, what kind of uniform is he wearing?
It's a pretty simple, like light blue collared shirt, dark blue pants, and it's weird. They have to be custom fitted. They are still way too small.
Okay.
You also notice he's got a little badge, and one of them little guard caps.
Mm-hmm. And we can expect other employees to.
Yes, it's very much a uniform.
Awesome.
So you find yourselves in the main hall of the Museum of Natural Wizardry, and you're kind of looking around, taking in the sights. The first thing that catches your eye is definitely got to be the dragon skeleton right in the middle of the room. It's got 8 legs, 2 sets of wings, big long snout full of teeth, and it's just kind of like rearing up over the gathered crowds behind the reception desk. Other notable things behind that, there is a gigantic aquarium wall. It's the sort of grayed out area right in the middle of the map there. And swimming around in there is the biggest shark you've ever seen. Also, directly over your heads, underneath the atrium windows, you see that there's a number of clouds just kind of floating there. And they're not drifting around or changing shape like clouds normally do. They appear to be in some kind of stasis lock.
Interesting.
Did you know that this kind of dragon actually has a third set of wings, but those are made of cartilage, so they don't show up on the skeleton?
Very true.
This is the Goon just says that at random. He's not trying too hard, so you're pretty sure he's just lying, but you can't be quite sure because it's the Goon and he's quite slick.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Some like little 8-year-old like turns towards you with a look of awe, but then immediately gets dragged away by his mom.
Poor boy.
Excellent. The misinformation spreads.
Yeah. Scoping out the room, you also know that there's a couple of security guards just kind of keeping out of the way by the east and west walls, just kind of surveying the crowds. And in front of the reception sort of desk area, you see that there is a smartly dressed lady in similar colors but different design. She seems to be a tour guide of some sort, and she's sort of gathering people into groups. You see a sign out front of the desk which says that during the special exhibits, due to crowding, all guests must join a tour group.
Ah, darn. No walking around free.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I suppose this way we'll get extra lore about the about the rooms we go to, so it's not all bad.
Yeah.
We can just from tour to tour group, if we really need to, right? That's a thing we can do.
And actually, you know what? If we can get away from the tour group, we might be able to snatch the aspect helm and replace it with the fake while there's nobody around because of everybody's in a tour group.
Guess we'll see.
Does this place have security cameras?
You don't notice any cameras. You aren't sure if they exist in this setting or not. I mean, there's wizards around, so maybe. But you don't see any regardless.
Maybe some
Alright.
invisible scrying eyeballs, but there's no spell for that.
There's no spell that
There's
you
a
guys
spell
know
for
that.
everything.
Ah, fair enough, fair enough.
Alright. So you're just gonna step forward, join a tour group, or do you want to try something else first?
Are we able to be our own tour group, or do we have to join a larger group?
Looks like they're gonna get you into a group of 10 to 12 people.
Did
Okay.
we want the goon to carry 2 live chickens in a bag through the entire tour?
Yes.
Yeah, are we going to go into the gift shop first? Are we able to go in before joining the tour group?
It looks like the gift shop is right after the Goblin Petting Zoo, so it is actually adjacent to the main hall. So we could maybe go into the gift shop first.
Maybe. I will say that the tour groups are going through the museum in numbered order. So you'd be heading in the opposite direction and ending at the gift shop if you were just sticking with them.
Well, I mean, it would probably be good to get rid of these 2 live chickens sooner rather than later.
Yeah, they're wiggling around pretty good.
I'm worried they might start trying to eat each other. I hear chickens do that sometimes.
Probably not very useful for stealth.
Or we could keep the chickens.
We can what the chickens?
Keep them as a distraction.
Surely something in here might want to eat chickens. Or
Well,
or I don't know. Just thinking. Before we let go of this premium resource.
It is always nice to have some ingredients on hand.
Yeah. Oh.
Always useful.
I mean, he who cuts the threads. We'll still probably need to get something from the gift shop, or else the boss ain't gonna be too happy,
We're here to steal an ancient artifact. Is it impossible to steal a knickknack?
Hey, you got a point there.
With someone so slick?
Your mentor certainly didn't forbid you from stealing anything else.
Okay. I think our best bet right now is we just go through the museum with one of the tool groups and just see what's in here.
Alright.
Works for me.
So you step forward and just kind of wait your turn, just sort of milling about the main hall for now, admiring the skeleton and the megalodon. But eventually you get sorted into a group. It doesn't take too long. They're moving people through fairly briskly. Your tour guide is tall-ish by normal human standards, notable for bright purple hair, and she is just being very chipper, very I'm at work kind of voice, retail voice. She groups you in with 6 other people, including the cactus man that you saw earlier, and also a pig in a waistcoat and bowler hat. Not walking upright, just a pig.
Ah, okay.
And she will start the tour. She will lead you to the east, into the East Wing, the paleontology exhibit. And as you go, she's kind of just talking and pointing out all of the various skeletons. You guys are here on a job, so you're not paying real close attention, unless you want to, I suppose. But looking around, despite being idiots, you guys think that some of these skeletons are a little bit suspect. Like, there's more dragon skeletons, that's pretty normal. But there's also, like, a spider skeleton. Not sure about that. There's a giant robot skeleton. There's, like, a bunch of very thick vertebrae just resting on the ground with a whole bunch of, like, arm bones and finger bones branching off of them as a skeletal tree.
You know, the Goon is actually half whatever the heck that thing is.
You know, I thought about that.
Yeah, you can see the resemblance, clearly. It seems like most of the other visitors are just kind of, yep, sure, that's probably real.
I don't like it.
I mean, we can't be sure that giant spiders don't have skeletons. I mean, none of us have killed a giant spider yet.
Probably not. You do work with a few.
Oh, maybe we should ask them.
Sure.
What planet was Elidor Ruby
Is that
Shadow
racist?
exploring?
Sorry, say again, Elmlily?
Or what planet was Elidora Ruby Shadow exploring?
Probably the same planet. Uncertain which time period. Chronomancy does exist. The only other noticeable single exhibit in this room is there's like a diorama of Neanderthal skeletons arranged into a scene which seems to depict the discovery of magic. At least that's what it says. You see that there's one Neanderthal who is holding up like a big long femur with a rock tied to the end. And the overhead lighting is such that there's like all kinds of glowing colors kind of surrounding them. The other Neanderthals are all like, oh!
You know, with how volatile Untamed Magic is, I'm not surprised that apparently these Neanderthals died immediately after discovering magic and their skeletons stayed like this until they were rediscovered.
Yeah? I mean, that's what the plaque says.
And the plaques are never wrong.
It's true.
Darn, somebody else in this museum has the bullshit knack.
Yeah, we're starting to get that impression. Anything else that you wanted to inspect, investigate in this room, or are you ready to move on?
I don't think there's very much more.
Bug's gonna lean towards his nearest party member and ask where the buckets are, because it's paleontology, right? No.
I don't think you're slick enough.
Bug laughs to himself.
The pig also laughs.
Fleckwick starts to look around for pails.
I have slickness at about that level, so Frannie is actually gonna laugh uproariously and then, oh, good one, Bug!
Alright. As the tour group is just getting ready to move on, you suddenly hear a whisper. Psst, hey! Hey, over here! Over here!
Ooh.
You see that it's coming from the Neanderthal exhibit. And
I guess
one of the skeletons turns slightly towards you, and with a pleading look on their skull says, "You gotta get me out of here!"
Do you have a bag for fake exhibits, the Goon?
I'll have to look through my burlap sacks to see if I've got one that's got a cartoonish picture of bones on it. The Goon is gonna slickly walk up to the Neanderthal skeleton and be like, "Hey man, what's up?"
I've been trapped here for 40 years!
Are you the only living skeleton in this exhibit?
That's a misnomer, but yes!
Do they know that you are an animate skeleton?
Of course they do. Every time I try to run away, they chase me back with a broom. You gotta get me out of here. I can't take another day in this place. And you see that there's like a janitor who's like sweeping up candy wrappers and stuff, who suddenly like looks towards you with a suspicious squint, and the skeleton just like snaps back into their original position, but you can hear them quietly sobbing.
Oh,
Alright, don't worry, Johnny Huevos will figure out a way to get you out of here. But, maybe not while the janitor's looking, you know? That's what the goon says to the skeleton guy. Alright, we gotta get Johnny Huevos out of here, but we gotta figure out how to get Johnny Huevos out of here without arousing too much suspicion first.
well, the mission is to get the hat, not Johnny Huevos.
Well, you know, Johnny Huevos would be able to help us get the hat, maybe.
Hmm.
And I mean, we can't just leave him there, can we? I mean,
I'm new to this wizard world.
unless he's actually an undercover security guard.
It's entrapment.
Hmm? The goon is just gonna be like, hey, how do we know you're not an undercover security guard?
No uniform!
Oh, there's that. Yeah, yeah.
Well, an undercover security guard wouldn't have a uniform.
Yeah, but they'd be disguised as something else. I'm naked here.
How embarrassing.
Yeah, you'd think they'd treat their own employees with a little more dignity.
Employee?
I mean, they do have a goblin petting zoo. I'm not sure how solid their ethics are here at the Elladora Ruby Shadow Memorial Museum of Natural Wizardry.
Yeah, it's a little bit dubious so far, isn't it? I don't even think that shark's union.
Exactly, you know? Can I make a slickness check to see if the skeleton seems legit?
You can try, yeah.
So that would be 1d12, right?
Yep.
Does my knack for bullshit give me a knack for catching bullshit?
No, that would be the counter bullshit knack.
Is that actually a knack?
I mean, anything can be a knack, although not one that was available to you. So
Okay,
it
I
would
got
just
a
be a 1 die
15.
slickness. 15? That's still really good. As far as you can tell, the skeleton seems to sincerely want to get the hell out of here.
Alright, well, I don't think we can get him out of here. I'm gonna return to the party and I'm like, alright guys, I think the skeleton's legit. We gotta save him. I mean, like, think about it this way. He who cuts the threads, you know, he could probably use an animate skeleton as part of his Legions of Dread, you know?
Johnny should be free. I wholeheartedly agree with you. We have to rescue him, but possibly on the way out.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I mean, I do have a burlap. I did manage to find my burlap sack with the cartoonish picture of bones on it, but I don't know. That janitor's kind of. I think that janitor might be onto us.
What we need is a distraction. Now, who could distract a janitor?
I can.
Oh!
Wait. Before we do this, we should probably check and see if we can. We should probably ask the Johnny Huevos if he can actually fit inside my burlap sack with a cartoonish picture of bones on it.
Do you not just have a second one?
We can't split him.
Hmm,
I mean,
can we?
Does anybody here? Would anybody in the party actually know about like how animate skeletons work?
It
Like,
is
I mean,
possible
literally.
to split up an animate skeleton, which you know because you work with a few, but they don't just like pop back together. That's fiction. You gotta have some kind of magic to fix that.
Or I'm pretty sure that if he just collapses into a pile of bones, we can fit him into one of one of my sacks of my sack that has a cartoonish picture of bones on it. And then I could just throw him over my shoulder along with the chickens.
Wouldn't it be easier to disguise him?
I don't think I have that many bandanas.
He'd have to take a few of them off, which is
Your trench
not happening.
coat?
No, not a chance.
Hmm.
At this point, the tour group is about to move on. Like the tour guide's doing that, point with one arm and like wave with the other arm to get everybody moving.
Mm-hmm.
All
You
right,
want me to
I think
go
we're gonna have
distract
to
him?
make our. I think we're gonna have to make our move.
All right.
Beef barf, hit it.
I am going to start looking like I need to puke, and I'm going to start running towards the janitor and towards. I assume he's got a garbage can with him if he's sweeping stuff up.
Yeah, he's got one of those cans on wheels, right? Just for picking stuff up and putting in.
All right, I'm gonna get my I'm gonna leave the burlap sack full of live chickens with a bug. I'm gonna take my burlap sack with a cartoonish picture of bones on it, and I'm gonna, while he's heading over to distract the janitor, I'm gonna head over to the animate skeleton with my sack, and I'm gonna say, "All right, Johnny Huevos, don't worry. I'm half skeleton myself, I'll get you out of here. All I need you to do is when that janitor's distracted, collapse yourself into the sack."
My name's Trudy, but yeah, okay, I'll try.
All right, don't worry, Johnny Huevos, we'll get you out of here.
So much more
Right,
respect on display than at the museum here.
Mm-hmm.
As I
I love
All right, I'm just waiting for whatever their name,
Fleckwick.
Fleckwick to make their move.
I love that
Um,
we got Rudy's name, but nobody heard it because it was whispered to the one who's just gonna keep calling him Johnny Huevos.
Yeah. All right, Fleckwick?
Once I reach the garbage can, I am going to cast ground beef breath and just vomit up so much ground beef and fill up his garbage can. I'm going to upcast it 5 levels so that it lasts for an additional minute.
Okay.
Make sure to, if you miss the can a bit, he'll have to look away to sweep it the rest of it up.
That's a fair point.
Just look like you're going to aim into the can and then miss it very badly, like overshoot it. Get it all over it too.
Maybe because of the recoil, like the first spit goes into the can, then your head gets like pushed back and it starts flying over. Like the Goon's like third cousin or whatever.
Oh, good. Do you beef
The
barf using strongness?
the arm thing.
All right. Yeah, so you run for the can, and you cast your spell, and just ground beef everywhere. Some of it gets in the can, a lot of it gets on the floor. An alarming amount gets on the walls.
I am so sorry!
And the janitor is just like, this fucking job. And over at the rest of your tour group, like, there's noise when you cast this spell, whether you want to make some or not. And like most of them are just grossed out. But you see that there's 2 little kids there with their mom, and they're just like laughing, and they start making barfing noises too. And the pig in a waistcoat just goes, "Oh, smashing!" and like starts trotting over before somebody stops.
I like this pig.
Yeah, everybody is now looking at the spectacle.
Alright, Johnny Huevos, the goon is gonna be like, alright, Johnny Huevos, quick, get in the bag!
Alright, Trudy climbs into the bag and just barely fits, and also is, as a skeleton, being very skinny. They have a bigness of 3, despite normal height, and that means that that's the exact amount that you can carry. So you're pretty well loaded down right now, but you can carry this sack.
Alright, I'm just gonna like twist the mouth shut and throw it over my shoulder like any good goon when he's got something, and I'm just gonna, you know, head back to the rest of the group.
Right? And they do their best to like fold up, but like they can't actually collapse into bones as you suggested, but they're still scrunched up pretty well. But you are now clearly having a bag over your shoulder.
I'm going to start dashing off and trying to find a bathroom, just to try and keep the charade going.
Okay. Oh man, I know I forgot to add something to this museum.
I was gonna say, do wizards have bathrooms? Because apparently they don't poop.
Is this like that? Is this like that one? Harry Potter errata that J.K. Rowling made?
Yeah, you just poop on the floor and wizard it away. By
Oh.
wizard it away, I of course mean they have janitors.
The Goon?
Yes.
Might we trade sacks? I am afraid I'm going to eat these chickens.
Alright, you can take Johnny Huevos. Alright, I suppose we should at least respect their pronoun. What I'm assuming their pronouns are. So Joanna Huevos.
Oh, okay.
And I'll take the live chickens again.
Alright. You got the chickens again.
Hello, Joanna Huevos.
Fleckwick, as you go running out for the bathroom, given what just transpired, nobody's going to stop you. Everybody would prefer that if that's going to happen a second time, it happens outside. So if you want to keep up the charade, you can make it all the way back outside while the rest of your group continues on. Are you okay being split up like that, or do you just want to go for the bucket again?
Or you could just pantomime some dry heaves and say you're done.
I'm going to head towards the giant dragon skeleton and then, yeah, pantomime some dry heaves.
Alright.
And then I'll try and make my way back through avoiding eye contact with the janitor, as by this point the ground beef has probably just disappeared because it only lasts for a minute and a bit.
Yeah, you see that they just finished setting up the caution wet floor signs, and then all of it just disappears, and the janitor just like goes wide-eyed for a second and then looks down at his hands like... and then like immediately throws aside his hat and his broom and says, "I'm too good for this job now!" and just stomps out the front door. And you are able to rejoin the rest of your tour group because it's been short enough time that everybody knows what's going on, and like they reluctantly let you back, but other than the pig, they're all keeping their distance.
Good, we've got attention on ourselves now.
Now, things didn't devolve to the point where we would need to act in quickness order or start making attack rolls, but I'm going to count that as a conflict. So, Fleckwick, you are able to improve yourself because you cast a spell.
I will improve my max cast on ground beef breath.
Sure thing. That's a D6.
Oh, wait.
Oh. That's a 4.
Nice. Okay, so in the future, you have a,
Now
let's just say, a
casted
greater
11.
capacity.
Oh no.
I had too much caffeine, so I'm going to need to run off to the actual bathroom.
Okay, sure thing. Uh... Meanwhile, the rest of the tour group continues into the aquarium. The section of this room that you can access right now is quite a bit smaller than the previous. You can see the other side of the Megalodon tank, and you can also see a smaller but still quite large tank of fish that seems to divide this room in two. There's also some stairs leading upwards, and it looks like once you're done gawking at the fish on this level, you're going to be heading up to the second level. You can also see the employees-only door on the north wall there.
Does the door look big enough to fit the big guy we saw at the entrance?
This door does not.
Okie dokie.
The messed up thing is they clearly had to, like, install the revolving doors when they converted this from a mansion into a museum. The original doors probably were big enough. It's messed up, I tell ya.
Well, you know, as long as he's getting paid a fair wage.
Yeah. Yeah, not a whole lot else to mention about this particular exhibit. It's mostly just some regular old fish besides the Megalodon. Although you do notice that there appears to be a clocktopus in the smaller tank. You can check the time if you forgot your watch.
Oh.
There is
What
also a
peculiar
sign.
creature.
There is a sign taped to the Megalodon tank, which says "No teleporting." And looking closer, you see that like some of the decorative skeletons in the bottom of the tank maybe are not so decorative.
So, wait, do we actually go through the employees only area?
You do
After
not.
the,
You're going to be going up the stairs to level 2. The aquarium exhibit continues up there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like 2
misreading
levels.
the map. I did not notice the stairs.
I am back.
Welcome.
Back.
You missed nothing, basically.
Good.
Some meandering.
Anything you want to do here while you're next to that employee entrance door, or do you want to continue to the upper story?
Does it look locked?
It definitely has a lock on it, and you're willing to bet that it is.
And does our guide or any of the other employees that we've seen thus far have like any sort of obvious key rings on them?
Roll slickness.
Oh boy. This was a bad idea.
Nah.
2.
2. You have not noticed any keys.
Wonderful.
Maybe you should ask the Goon?
Oh. I did not think about it.
I suppose that's fair. Can the Goon, like, try to slickly at least try the door to see if it's locked?
Yeah, sure. Are you trying to do it without being noticed?
Let me do that.
I mean, ideally, yes. He's suspicious enough as is.
Alright,
So,
if you're trying to do it without being noticed, then that's also going to be a slickness roll. The crime roll.
okay, I just got a natural 12.
Nice.
For a total of 22, I think.
Okay.
Oh. No. My 2 would have been a 3, but I don't think that matters.
Yeah, +1 on that is not going to be making a huge difference.
Yeah.
It seems that nobody notices you as you test the door. You can confirm that it is indeed locked.
Alright, so we might need to come back around if we're gonna take the employee. I think it's probably safe to guess that the back door is probably also locked. So we'll have to keep that in mind.
Right.
All right.
And
Up
then
the
again,
stairs we go,
I am a goon,
I assume?
so
Yeah, with that, the tour continues up the stairs and onto the second floor. There's a few more large tanks, including a very long, narrow one that covers the north wall. And there's also a bit of a balcony above the Megalodon tank. And you now have a pretty good look at the cloud formations.
my Hitman 2 instincts are telling me to ask if the top of the Megalodon tank is open or not.
No, it is covered up by the floor. You're actually not sure how they feed that thing.
Is it a glass floor?
Nope. There is...
Wait, what's the point of the balcony then?
You can just sort of see over the main hall, and just to give you a good view of the cloud formations. There is a plaque which indicates that these are natural cloud formations, transplanted from their original habitat and preserved through magic. And you can see that there's like one that looks like a rabbit, there's one that looks kind of like an elephant. There's one that looks like a house if you turn your head just so.
Nature is beautiful.
Is it possible to climb up onto one? Or to boost maybe the less big character up onto one?
It looks like you could do that. It'd be a bit of a jump. They're not quite adjacent to the balcony.
Oh. I can throw.
Oh, I see.
There is one more relevant thing, something that the Goon notices with his high slickness. You see that across the open space where all the clouds are hanging in the air, there is another walkway where people are crossing between exhibits. And you see crouched on the underside of that balcony, about 20 feet above the ground of the main hall, there is a shadowy figure kind of curled up in the balcony supports, and they seem to be watching. You can see their eyes glinting from the darkness. They briefly lock eyes with you, but then they just go back to like looking all around the place, like they're keeping an eye out for something.
Are they wearing a uniform?
You can't see in the darkness.
Darn! Shouldn't have worn those sunglasses.
What if the goon is half cat?
Is
You know,
the
the goon is half a lot of things, you know?
So we've heard.
He probably is half cat in there somewhere, too.
It's probably in there somewhere.
Oh well.
Alright, unless you have any other pressing business with the clouds or the fish, the group's going to be moving on eventually.
I want to try the clouds out. Surely they're chairs. Surely they're for sitting on.
Okay, you have strongness 2, so this would be a difficult jump. You'll have to roll, and you're trying to get at least a 5. It's 5 feet to the nearest cloud.
Please don't get us kicked out. Please don't get us kicked out for destroying the exhibits.
How does the help action work in this system?
If you tell me what you're doing, then the person rolling may be able to get a bonus die or some other benefit.
Okay. Well, if you really, really want to get onto one of those clouds, Bug would be happy to give you a lift off.
Sure. I mean, you're the only one who can.
Yeah.
All right, we need this information. So, absolutely, let's go for it.
Okay,
Oh,
so you're now rolling
okay.
2 dice, and since the target number is 5, you just don't roll 2 ones.
Okay. I got a 5 and an 8.
Okay,
Hooray.
so without too much difficulty, especially with some help from your buddy, you are able to hop onto the elephant cloud. Your hooves depress slightly into the spongy surface, but it does hold your weight. You are now standing on a cloud, and it is just the coolest thing. And no
Wait,
sooner...
how are they going to get back?
Presumably
Okay, bye.
jump. The cloud is about level with the balcony railing, so that shouldn't be a problem. However, just a second after you do this, you hear a whistle coming from the opposite end of the atrium, and that shadowy figure that the goon noticed leaps out of hiding, parkours across the clouds to land on the same one that you're standing on, and just kind of stands over you. This guy is wearing the security guard uniform,
Oh,
except they have a little bit bigger, shinier badge which says Head of Security. You also notice that they are a wolf guy. Like, not a werewolf, that's a guy that turns into a wolf. This is just a wolf guy. They're about 8 feet tall, reasonably buff, and with a double bandolier of crossbow bolts and a big, heavy crossbow slung on their back. Doesn't seem appropriate for their line of work, but they have it. And he just looks down at you, Frannie. Just says, "Now I'm gonna have to ask you to step off of that there cloud, missy."
Hey, of course, right away, sir. I'm so sorry. And she will just hop right off of it.
Okay,
Can I
rolling
make
1
a
die this
kiss
time.
Can I make a kissing ass check to make this guy believe, or at least not look down so hard on Frannie? Poor innocent Frannie.
That sounds like a
Poor
valid
sweet.
use to me.
He won't remember us if we do this.
Okay. So roll
Okay.
kissing ass. You get 2 dice on that.
2 dice.
Yep.
Okay, I rolled a 5 and a 10. So that adds hygiene, right?
Yep.
So that's a 17.
17, that's real good. This guy rolled bad.
Wait, you only have a hygiene of 2?
No, we're not adding them together. We're taking the better one, right?
No, you take both dice.
Oh, well, what do you add? 7 plus 15. It's a 22.
it's one of those numbers.
Real good. Yeah, so this head of security seems to take you for some kind of simpleton. It's just like, hey, yeah, whatever. Just keep your paws off of the exhibits. And that kind of shushes you back over. And like, we'll give you a boost to help you jump so you can roll with 2 dice and hopefully not
so
fall.
Nice.
All right. Gonna try that then. Nine plus 6. What are
Plenty.
we rolling instruments?
You hop back across without any more difficulty. And the head of security also leaps onto the balcony very easily, actually, you notice. Perhaps not
So
surprising.
he's strong, he's quick, he's probably slick.
He's so cool.
He's
Everything.
decently big.
Decently big. Taller than most of the people in the area, that's for sure. Not taller than you.
If we were to have to... the goon is just sort of thinking, like, if we had to fight this guy, he'd probably A, just run away and start shooting at us. And B, we'd have to we'd have to all hit him all at once to have a decent chance of taking him down. So it might be a bit difficult.
It'd be tough.
Reason I wanted to get up on that cloud is because I've heard of the Cloud 9 spell, and I just wanted to try it out. You know, maybe all clouds were that nice.
It was definitely nice. It didn't seem to be magically nice.
All right then.
All right. With that little kerfuffle out of the way, the tour group continues on to one of the new exhibits, one of the big draws that everyone's here to see, particularly you guys, that being the Ancient Wizardry exhibit. Alright, you head into the large room, and it seems the exhibits are well spread out. The artifacts are well spread out so that lots of people can see them at the same time. There's not too many, but the ones that are there, some of them are pretty striking. The largest ones that stand out are a tall black stone obelisk covered in writing, as well as a tall statue on a pedestal of somebody who is clearly a wizard, pointy hat, but seemingly without arms. It looks like the statue is broken at some point. And you can also see that there's a few other bits and pieces. Everything except those two big stone ones are encased in glass or in frames. There's like scrolls framed on the walls, and a few smaller like glass cases with what you're looking for. And smack dab in the middle of the east wall, you see the aspect helm.
This may be more difficult than expected.
You think back to what you were told by your mentor when you were sent on this job, and you recall they gave you a rundown of what exactly the aspect helm can do. I've posted an image in Discord, and I'm also gonna hop it onto the map here.
Alright, a helmet that...
A very powerful magic item potentially, but one that does come with some drawbacks. It can kill you if you use it too much.
Cockroach propaganda. I like how the actual rules part just slowly gets less and less present. And then the last one is just cockroach propaganda. It doesn't even explicitly say it gives hygiene.
I mean, we all see the pattern. A couple other things to note. Given that the helm is pretty chonky and made of metal, it would constitute a bigness 1 item while carrying, which may be a factor, although you do have a couple of big dudes, so it's probably alright. And as I said, it is on a pedestal and in a glass case. You see that there is a lock that you can use to open the case, or you could break the glass,
Or
you could think of something else.
My plan was, I was honestly considering just like walking up to it, looking around for security, and just like quickly swapping them and putting the other one into a burlap sack or something. Or the real one into
one of those?
Oh, we have the replica.
No, where would you get a burlap sack?
Like any self-respecting goon, the goon has a variety of burlap sacks on his on his person for a variety of situations.
He asked if he could have them, and I foolishly said yes.
Wonderful.
Of course, there's a one with a cartoonish picture of a helm on it.
You win this.
We also have one. We also have, however, the Goon decided that this matter requires special attention, so he's actually got another burlap sack that has a cartoonish picture of a helm on it, but then it says but then it's got a big red X over it to show that what's in the sack is definitely not a helmet.
All right, so hear me out.
Keep
We
them
should
guessing.
expand the helm and then wear it in front of the head of security, and then they'll have to take it out of the case to see which one is real.
Wait,
Oh my
That
god, that
sounds
idea is so stupid, it might work!
it is pretty stupid. Or we could just knock him out of the way once he's unlocked the display case to maybe replace it. I don't know. But, do we have the only replica? Are there tiny replicas? Are there
In the
replicas?
gift shop.
I mean, I would assume that there's probably like cosplayers running around with replica helms of aspect helms. So
Is the head of security around? Like, is he still here, or is he off brooding somewhere?
He didn't follow you, so he's
Okay.
not with you right now in the room.
Any other security presence in the room?
There is a guard who seems to be permanently stationed in this room, given that there's so many things that are valuable and stealable in here.
Okay.
it's
Just put that guy in a sack and replace
Yeah.
him with a replica guy that looks just the same, standing in the right place.
Replace him with Jose, whatever his
We
name
have
was.
Johnny. We'd have to lure him away first or something. We can't just do that out in the open. I don't think I mean, I probably do have a burlap sack for this purpose, but I'm not sure if I'm strong enough to carry it. And of course, everybody would see us.
Well, you are very slick. So
That is true.
maybe they wouldn't.
Is there anywhere we could hide a body?
Anywhere you could hide a body. If you could figure out how they get food into the Megalodon tank, maybe.
Yeah.
Or if you were to
There aren't any
completely skeletonize somebody, you could maybe toss them back down in the paleontology exhibit.
I don't want to think about how we completely skeletonized somebody.
I
Unless
can't eat that fast.
Can we ask Joanna Huevos if she knows how to completely skeletonize somebody?
Sure. She speaks up. Well, the way that I did it was to lie underground for a couple 100 years. Does that help? Is that an option?
Do you know any faster ways to completely skeletonize somebody?
I wonder if we had a dead body, could I instant dinner
Oh my god.
a meal from them and leave the bones?
Potentially.
What would we do with the meal, though?
Ogre.
You're right. That was a poor question. So
Oh,
is that the plan then?
yeah,
We're gonna wait
chickens
until
That's how chickens work, right?
we could what?
We have the chickens still. Are they?
They will
Dumb idea.
clean the bones.
I mean,
Well,
we
if
have
there
at
were
least
enough-
one extra canon example of that happening.
Do we know if these are normal chickens or piranha or like skeletonizing chickens though?
They seem in all ways like normal chickens. Except that they are about 20% louder and more wiggly.
It could just be because we've had them in a burlap sack for the last
Yeah, I
like
think they're
several
just upset.
half hour.
Yeah.
If we hit one, do we think we'll summon 1,000 more?
I can think of exactly one way to find out.
Okay, let's not do that.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is we like maybe try to find somewhere to hide or something and just watch and see how long it takes for each tour group to come through, and that'll tell us how long we have to make this guy disappear. And then we can work from there. Because if the tour groups just like come one right after the other, then I'm not sure we can really do anything.
Can we take multiple tours?
There's no reason you can't.
We have a pass for the rest of the day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe we can like find a statue and be like looking at its plaque really hard, and then if anybody asks why we're not with a tour group, we just tell them that we were really engrossed in the plaque.
All 4 of us didn't hear. Went completely insensate as soon as the tour guide came over to, talk to us.
Look, man, I'm the goon. I'm the master of bullshit. You let me handle that problem if it comes up.
Bug is very interested in this obelisk.
Okay.
Sure,
Walks up
let's
to it.
go over and get deeply engrossed in the obelisks.
Oh, can one of you read?
Legitimate question.
Of course. I would assume that the goon can read, you know?
Probably. He's half
He knows
literate.
many languages. Oh,
Yeah.
you got him.
He's what?
Half literate.
Of course.
Alright, you go and you check out the obelisk. If nothing else, you don't want to keep staring at this helmet and raising suspicion. And according to the plaque, this obelisk contains precise instructions for casting a spell known as the H word at level 0. So much so that simply by reading off of it, anybody can cast it if they've got the mana.
I know what that does. I might have the mana.
Does it-
I swear
Does it-
that's the one that summons a demon.
That's the one.
Yeah.
The
I
heck
do
word.
not have the mana.
How much?
If anybody wants to look it up, that's in the expansion document.
I am currently looking at it.
I mean, even if we don't have the
It's
does it
125
cast
mana.
it does it cast it immediately?
It's not immediate because you have to read all the text on all 4 sides. It takes about 5 minutes.
Dang,
And
I
then
do not have much mana.
And we don't just know this spell now. We have to read it from the plaque since we don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, that was
It's
my question.
kind of like
Okay.
using a spell scroll, but it's harder to
Mhm.
carry around.
Would it require a high enough channeling to cast as well, or just the mana pool?
You need the mana and the channeling.
Yeah, I went for high numbers on both of those, and I don't even have high enough.
Yeah.
However, if
Yeah.
multiple people were to work together, you could combo cast it.
Would we
Can
each
we
sacrifice?
share
Wait,
max mana that way?
Yes, you
Wait.
can. You each are limited by your own channeling stat and current mana, but you can pool your resources together. So, if one of you had 65 and one of you had 60, that would be enough to cast it.
I have
I have
65.
a question. So my question is, the H word costs 2 hygiene to cast. So if we combo cast it, will we both have to sacrifice 2 hygiene?
Good question.
No, when you combo cast, if you were in a conflict doing it, the last person in initiative is the one who, quote-unquote, cast the spell, so they would pay any other costs, any effects would be centered on them, that sort of thing. If you're doing it outside of a conflict, then basically you just pick which one of you is paying that cost.
We couldn't,
Okay.
split it between us? Because we did work together to cast it.
Nope.
Dang.
He's already thought of.
He's got us! Well,
Darn,
I
we
have-
can't use it. Zoink, Scoob. We can't power of friendship our way out of this one.
I have a goodly number of hygiene. I could take the hit if we were going to do that. I also have over 100 mana. I have 105 mana and 100 channeling. And I don't have spells for doing much other that are useful in getting us out of here, so we're not gonna be losing out on much.
I think we should continue the tour and then do another tour so that we have all of our potential pieces in place. Although that might be too intelligent.
That seems like the wisest decision.
Seems smart. That being the case, did you want to look around this exhibit further or ready to move on?
Who's the wizard?
You check the plaque in front of the wizard statue. It seems nobody actually knows who this wizard is, but whoever they are, this is actually them. And apparently the petrification curse they're under is so powerful that to this day, nobody's been able to crack it.
Dang.
Somebody did crack their arms off,
that's my
though.
great-grandfather.
Amazing.
A couple times removed.
A couple times.
All right.
Unpetrified wizard? One H word on a plaque.
I guess we can keep looking around. I think we should try to delay here until we can see how long it takes for another tour group to show up.
Okay.
About how long between areas have we had so far?
They're giving you a good 10 to 15 minutes at least, but if they notice people are lingering, then they're going to wait. And if they notice that the tour group ahead of you is taking too long, then they're going to wait. However, in this room in particular, since it's so large, everything's so spread out, and it's such a big draw, it seems that they're keeping 2 tour groups in here at a time, so you've got up to a half hour if you want it.
Okay.
Oh, so it's just not going to be possible. Because I'm guessing one tour group leaves and another comes.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then one tour group is sort of like staying in there twice, basically.
Okay, so
like, you go in, there's another group ahead of you, they leave, another group comes in, and then your group leaves after. So there's like 20 people in this room right now.
Okay, so assassinating the security guard, turning him into a skeleton, and dropping his skeleton, or I guess turning him into a skeleton and a hamburger, and then dropping his skeleton in the paleontology exhibit, isn't going to work because too many people would see us do that.
Probably. Doesn't mean you can't do it, they'll just see you.
But you do have really high slickness.
I mean, like, I want to avoid racking my brain to come up with a illegitimate excuse for why we are standing next to what used to be a person and is now a burger and a pile of bones. I want to. I mean, I am very. I have a knack. I have a knack for it. I'm very slick, but at the same time, while I feel like it might actually have a chance of working, I don't want to try it unless we have to.
Okay. Plan B. Plan B.
Plan B.
All right.
Also, based on the timeline you've given, I assume it's been more than 5 minutes, so I'm back to full mana?
Yeah, you would be by now, for sure.
Just means you're ready to vomit again.
Maybe we could try the same trick twice, but for now, I guess we should probably see what's in the hall of fucked up mirrors.
They did lose out on a janitor. Somebody else is going to have to take that job over unless everybody noticed. The beef just goes away after a few minutes.
Well, I think the implication was that the janitor thought he managed to magic away all of the beef.
Yeah.
So he's off to start training to be a magical janitor now, so.
He was already a magical janitor, but he only knew fireball.
Yeah. Not very useful to his line of work. Not sure why he learned it.
Yeah.
They really need to stop pushing that spell in today's wizarding schools, you know? They keep telling people that if they just learn fireball, it'll be the only spell that they need. But a lot of people find that to be false and are merely saddled with several hundred chickens worth of student loan debt and a spell that might not be the most useful.
Yeah.
It's a real systemic problem. Anyway,
Well,
I'm hearing that you guys are ready to check the next exhibit.
Moving on to the Hall of Fucked Up Mirrors.
All right. You walk across the balcony that's the head of security was lurking under. For all you know, they're back under there right now. On your left, at the south wall, is just a big old window where you can look out and see the town square and a whole bunch of buildings spread out to the south of you. If you really lean over, you can just about see that ogre still taking admission. Although there's a bit of an inaccessible balcony outside. If you look at the map, you'll see that there's a section that's not represented on the upper floor. You do also notice that at least some of these windows seem like they can be opened in order to access that balcony for cleaning, you suppose.
Good to know.
You can also see some of the clouds from a different angle, and you're like, oh yeah, that one does look like a house. Before reaching the Hall of Fucked Up Mirrors. Yes, that is what the sign says, directly over the doorway. That mother that's in your group just like covers her kids' eyes as they walk through.
I guess Elladora Ruby Shadow isn't much for decorum.
Not really. So, you reach the far western wall of the museum, and in that first little section of hallway here, you see that there is a mirror to the north and the south hanging on the walls, and there is also another one on the eastern wall. So there's 3 mirrors that you can see right now. The one on the south wall is labeled as a regular mirror, you know, for comparison purposes. So looking in that one, you just see your reflection as normal. All these mirrors are quite large. They're about 10 feet tall, maybe 5 feet wide, with elaborate frames. You don't notice a security guard on duty in here because these things would be hard as hell to carry out. The mirror on the north wall from you is an inverted mirror, which shows your reflection upside down, funhouse style. And the one on the east wall is an inverted mirror, which shows your reflection upside down and inside out.
Oh.
You can see breakfast.
Ground beef.
Yeah.
So much ground
probably.
beef.
The Goon watches carefully as a Fleckwick moves past the inverted mirror, trying to see if he can confirm his suspicions that Fleckwick is actually a tiny pixie who is merely piloting a magical robot that is full of ground beef.
Well, Fleckwick, what's the ruling?
That is not in fact true, but there is an awful lot of ground beef in Fleckwick's lungs.
Oh god.
You can see the beef generating organ in there.
Is it just like a tiny cow or something?
Yeah, it's just shaped like a cow. Gross.
Are the bags also shown inside out?
That's a solid question.
Oh, please no. Johnny Huevos, run!
The answer is yes.
Joanna Huevos.
But it seems that most people are averting their eyes from that mirror for some strange reason, so nobody immediately catches on.
I just
Are
pushed
the
away from
so-
the mirror.
are the chickens inside the bag also inside out?
Yes.
Interesting.
Assuming the goon cooperates, because I don't know if I can push anyone with as strong as low as 2.
Wait, cooperates with what?
Getting
Being
pushed.
shoved away from the line of sight of the mirror. line of reflection of the mirror?
Oh,
I mean, like, it's pretty obvious. It would be Bug that's Bug's the one carrying Joanna Huevos.
Oh,
hello.
The Goon is carrying the chickens for the gift shop.
in that case, we're gonna cordially take Bug's hand and run off excitedly ahead. Oh, look at this one! Look at this one!
Oh, oh.
All right. You move to the next little section of hall. All of the other visitors are like, just kind of laughing at the novelty of the exhibit here. Again, there's a mirror on the north, the south, and then on the west wall. On the south wall is the youth mirror, which shows what you look like 10 years younger. On the north wall is the some other youth mirror, which shows what someone else looks like 10 years younger. Not sure who they are.
Interesting.
And then, of course, on the west wall, we have the truth mirror, which shows your persona.
Curiously, the Goon's reflection in the youth mirror is the exact same as his normal reflection.
He's ageless.
The Goon is an eternal force.
He's at least half immortal.
Exactly.
Alright.
Franny's persona is just elf, but more scantily clad, not so much having to fit the dress over the armor.
Mm.
The Goon's persona seems to be when the Goon walks up in front of the truth mirror, it throws an error.
Mm.
He's half too many things. It can't figure it out.
Can't figure it out.
It bullshitted the mirror.
Alright. In the next hall, you can only see 2 mirrors visible. On the south wall is the window mirror, which shows you the hall that you just left. And on the north wall is the invasive mirror, which shows, according to the plaque, a guy named Bob, but only while he's sitting on a toilet. Currently, the mirror is dark.
Thank goodness.
There is no mirror
Wait,
hanging... Sorry, say again?
What was Fleckwick's persona?
That's up to you.
I mean, I suppose it's up to Fleckwick.
A giant 10-foot tall cow.
Yeah,
Sickly me.
that checks out.
So,
Not
Frannie?
sure what else I expected?
Man. There is no mirror on on the eastern wall, as you might expect. There is, however, a sign that says, "Dear visitor, if ye be of faint heart, continue on," and points directly to the door that leads back to the aquarium. And under that is a sign that says, "However, if ye be of stout heart," and then it sort of indicates the final hallway, the dead-end hallway there.
I feel challenged. I must go.
The Goon has an incredibly stout heart. It's because he knows this because he just saw his heart and it seemed to be working just fine.
Yeah, seemed to.
So the Goon will follow Bug.
Alright, down the dead-end hall on the north and south wall, there's like similar kind of hokey warnings. And there's like kind of a curtain that separates you from the back wall there. But you pass through, and you see that the plaque indicates this as the death mirror, which shows you how you will die based on what's most likely at the current moment. Who's going to look in the mirror?
Bug will.
Bug will? Alright. Bug, you go through the curtain, you stand before the mirror, courageous of heart, and the only thing that you see is your own reflection, pretty much as you are, with the exception that you are wearing the aspect helm.
Oh. Okay. That doesn't seem very important.
Probably nothing.
The goon will also.
Yeah, same thing.
Goon,
It's
I
just
found the helmet.
It's just your reflection, except you appear to be wearing the aspect helm. If you both stand before the mirror at once, it looks like you're both wearing it.
I think this mirror is broken.
Smack it on the side a
I
couple
mean-
times.
Like, no, nothing else, just the aspect helm. No, like, getting mauled by a wolf man with a very shiny badge. Just the aspect helm.
Just the aspect helm.
Bug would like to try to touch the aspect helm in the mirror.
You reach out, and it just feels like a regular mirror. You can see your reflection, doing the same thing as you are. Like you're reaching
Bug
out to
would
yourself.
like to...
Guys, this mirror is totally bugged. This mirror is mislabeled. They're using it to spy on us. They're going to increase security at the aspect helm.
Nah. Can I try and bullshit so hard that the goon in the mirror gives me his aspect helm?
Yes.
You can try. Roll for it.
I got a 25.
Okay.
You're going to glitch out
Your
the
reflection does not react.
Worth a shot.
Worth a
Out of
shot.
curiosity, was there actually a DC set for that?
No.
Knacks are
bullshit.
not magical, unfortunately.
I need to find a spell that lets me bullshit the laws of physics.
Research some unearthed.
That's
Arcana.
most spells.
I suppose, yeah, that probably would be a bit too general purpose, but anyway. Can we get can the goon try and convince Fleckwick and Elmlily's character to go in front of the mirror as well?
Do you guys want to?
That's Frannie, and absolutely not. No, I don't want to see.
Fleckwick is currently looking at his wrist by the. He doesn't have a watch, but he's looking at where one would be by the entrance to the aquarium.
Yeah. Seems
Come
most
on,
of the
Fleckwick.
rest of the tour group is distracted because it seems that Bob just sat down with the newspaper.
I must see this.
Run over and see.
I'm gonna go to Fleckwick and is like, come on, Fleckwick, don't you want to know if you're gonna die in a horrific beef-related accident or a horrific something else-related accident?
Look, the sign says if you're of faint heart, you should just go to the aquarium, and my heart is as great as my vomit.
He does
Reflex.
seem fairly queasy.
It doesn't seem like a great plan to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose your heart probably does have some ground beef in it.
Oh,
Probably trace amounts.
I suppose you get a pass.
Alright. All of a sudden, as it hits get on with it o'clock, you hear a shrill whistle echo through the museum. And you hear a familiar voice echoing, not through any sort of magic, he's just being loud. Everybody stay where you are! Seems that somebody's been up to some shenanigans! And
Uh-oh.
the goon,
How
as you are still
dastardly.
next to the mirror when this happens, you catch movement out the corner of your eye. You see that your reflection is no longer wearing the aspect helm, and instead they're just full of crossbow bolts.
Okay,
oh no.
guys, quick, give me the Joanna Huevos.
Oh, I'm watching Bob right now in the other.
All right, this is more like what I expected.
Yeah. Good
I'm
luck.
going to,
You
the
should
goon
pay.
has no fear. He's gonna he's gonna head over to be with the party. To
Hello.
see what he can do.
We should dump the skeleton bag somewhere, but where? How? It's for safekeeping, and we'll come back for him after.
Can I keep him in the burlap sack in my stomach?
Can you? I suppose the question is your are you capable of digesting burlap and/or digesting bones? If the answer is no, then it should probably be fine, at least for Joanna Huevos. I'm not so sure about Bug, but
You hear whimpering coming from the bag as you discuss this plan.
Oh.
Before too long, a security guard pops into the room and kind of just makes sure that all of your tour group is sort of gathered in the same area where he can see you. And through the open doorway into the aquarium, you see the head of security kind of stomping around with another guard, like, kind of hustling to follow behind. And it seems that he is just, like, checking people's bags and stuff.
Oh.
And he seems to be going through in tour group order, so you have only a minute or two before he reaches you. What are you gonna do?
the goon is first going to like go up to the bag and just like surreptitiously whisper so that only Joanna Huevos can hear it, and it's just like act inanimate. He's just going to say that so that hopefully they don't give themselves away, assuming that that's what the guy is looking for. It's possible it's not, and then he's going to ask he's gonna try and trade bags with Bug. If I feel like we may have to bullshit our way out of this one, so I'm getting ready for that.
Would it be possible to make it to the windows towards the south wall and like open one up and drop Joanna Huevos down to that balcony?
That's certainly something that you could do, but you really don't know how you would do it without being seen at this point. Maybe while everybody was still distracted, but now everyone's curious as to what's going on, so they're like kind of all looking around at each other.
Fair enough.
I could get us another distraction.
Oh, hold up a second.
I feel like that might end up being suspicious though, because if they're looking for Joanna Huevos, they know they might make a connection between two ground.
Goon.
Bag? What if they don't want to check it?
Oh, vomit in the bag.
Yeah, into the bag.
Oh my god, you're a genius.
Oh no.
Or this is a terrible idea.
It might actually work.
We have to time it very well because it can only last a minute.
Oh, can't you upcast it any higher?
Nope, that is as high as my channeling will let me take it.
Okay, we'll keep that plan in our back pocket, maybe.
More than length of time is amount of beef to cover a skeleton's worth.
I think he can manage a skeleton's worth of beef.
All right. You hear heavy footsteps coming from the southern hallways. You're pretty sure that the guy's breathing down your neck at this point.
Just in case that does wind up being the plan, I'll start looking queasy.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, it shouldn't be too hard with the head of security bearing down on us.
Have I already given you the bag, the goon?
I think so, yes. You've got the chickens.
Hooray.
All right.
Do we have
So-
any other genius plans?
This one doesn't
Fellas, if
attract
we
a
all
lot of attention to us. If everybody's watching, all you're gonna do is throw up in a bag.
Vomit in a bag, okay?
look, if all else, if this goes south, guys, I just want you all to know that I've never particularly cared for any of you, but working with you but you've been competent allies. Be competent allies.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Oh, thank you, the Goon. It's been somewhat confusing working with you too.
Well, let's just try not to die.
Let's try.
All right.
All right. So head of security rounds the corner still with one more guard behind them. So there's 3 guards total, including the head of security, that are in your immediate presence, plus your tour guide and various other guests.
Do I have my
let's
axe
see.
on hand just in case?
I mean, the ogre wasn't checking anybody's weapons for some
Wonderful.
reason.
I think this is one of those situations where they figured out it's less likely to cause problems if you just let everybody go in armed rather than try and disarm that one extra twitchy looking wizard.
The pig has a gun.
Wizards.
The American method. All right.
It might be puke o'clock then, if that's our plan.
Well, let's try and
As you're about to do the puke plan,
well, let's not do the puke plan yet.
Yet?
you
We
suddenly
might be able to bullshit our way out of this one, you know.
You suddenly hear, coming from the far end of the museum, the resounding crash of glass breaking,
Oh,
and you hear a voice shouting at the top of its lungs, "I got the helmet! Cheese it!"
Wait. Oh my
didn't
god!
very
It's
well.
Ratarat!
Rat the Ratty?
Those are the ones that said cheese it, right?
Lots of people
Oh
say
my
cheese
god,
it.
I just understood that pun.
Alright, so a conflict has officially begun because it seems that somebody else is trying to snipe your loot.
Okay.
Your microphone cut out for us right as you were doing the loud voice. That was, we've got the helmet, cheese it?
Yep.
Fun.
Okay.
Alright, well.
So, this being a proper conflict, we are now acting in quickness order. The first one to act is the head of security, who immediately busts into a run across the aquarium, headed in the direction of the ancient wizardry exhibit.
How far does he move?
Pretty damn far.
Any
Yeah, he's
specific
already there.
distance? He's already there, so he's got a quickness of at least like 12 then.
Yeah, at least.
The running knack.
Either that or yeah, he's got the running knack, but
Could be.
Yeah.
He also went first, so there's another clue. Bug, you're up next.
Bug's going to... The head of security went across the aquarium. Bug's going to try to go through the hall of fucked up mirrors to see if the other group of criminals are going to go for the windows.
Sure.
So try to get to as close to the south wall as he can.
I have a question.
Yes?
Yo.
So, when mana locked, can you regenerate mana locked mana?
No, that's sort of the whole point. It effectively reduces your maximum mana while you're maintaining another spell.
Okay, so it's reduced and it's not just can't use it. Okay.
Yeah. So if you have 100 max mana and you get mana locked for 20, then until that mana lock goes away, you effectively have a max mana of 80.
Okay. I guess if Bug's covering the windows, I'll also try and make my way to the Hall of Ancient Wizardry.
Alright, well, we'll get to you when we get to you. But Bug, with your significant speed, yeah, I'd say that you're able to, like, get into...
Wait, what's Bug's quickness?
10.
10, yeah.
10. Oh. He's very quick.
Get into that southernmost hall, so you at the very least have a good line of sight of what's going on.
Okay.
And also, I guess you're red.
Okay. And I, just in case I'm going to rage, cast rage.
You can move your full speed, or you can rage, so which do you want to do?
I'll move my full speed.
Okay. Alright. Next up... you see somebody, looks like another guest, another visitor to the museum, run through the doorway from Area 4, from the Ancient Wizardry exhibit. They're not carrying the helm, but instead they've grabbed like one of those nylon rope posts, and they start swinging it at the window to try and break it. They don't succeed right away, but they've definitely put in some cracks. It looks like it's gonna get all the way broken, probably if one more person does the same in the same spot. So I'll just use a
Oh, excellent. So we know where to go then.
gray dot to represent this guy. The Goon and Fleckwick, you guys are tied for quickness, so you can both go in whichever order you see fit, but you do have to pick an order.
My quickness is 7.
Oh, did I get that wrong?
I increase my quickness by 1 and reduce my hygiene by 1 before.
Okay,
Yeah.
I must have missed that. No problem.
Also, Fleckwick's quickness is 4, isn't it?
Correct.
Man, am I just way off my game today? I must have been looking at your... Okay, you're right. I will correct the order. In that case, it is the Goon's turn.
Alright, well, the Goon is gonna, I guess, I'm assuming that I can't make my way down to the, yeah, I guess the Goon is just going to follow behind, try to follow behind Bug as quickly as they can.
Okay. You're gonna be magenta. Let's see, quickness 7. You don't get quite as far, but still get pretty far. I'm just eyeballing the distance.
I'm gonna make sure to avoid ending my turn standing in front of the inside-out mirror.
You are sort of standing in front of it, but you can obscure the line of sight by holding the bag in front of you.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Alright, and at this point...
Oh yeah, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna ask Johnny Huevos if he has any combat relevant capabilities.
I can, run?
How?
So, no.
What's your quickness, Joanna? Huevos?
Who? And that's all you have conversation time for on this turn. At
I
this
thought
point...
talking was a free action.
To a limit. At this point, the guards spring into action. One of them stays with the group. But another one follows after you guys, who have run off. Whoops. They're not as fast as you. But they do get back within your line of sight, and they're like saying, "Hey, you get back with the group. This is a lockdown situation." And you also see that he pulls out a nightstick from his belt.
Uh-oh, danger.
The Goon is gonna quit back. It's like, all right, look, man, I haven't broken anything's legs in a solid while, and I mean, won't you guys appreciate the extra firepower taking out these nefarious, horrible, no good criminals?
Looking for a deputization, eh? Well, that's something head of security would have to handle. But he does seem to be considering it.
Not a deputization, just an excuse to commit violence.
Oh, now that's a different story. Seems to like that idea. While, like, tapping his other hand with the nightstick and, like, striding towards you.
Oh, is he
Fleckwick.
approaching me?
It's your real turn now. Sorry for the mix-up.
Not a problem. I am going to, contrary to everyone else, start moving towards the aquarium in an effort to... I don't know how loud the thump of the pole against the window was, whether or not I heard it, but we've got a couple of people going the other way. I feel like going to cover the other exit might be a good plan.
Sure. Reasonable. Yeah, you get out to the aquarium room. You're not as quick as some of your friends, but you move a good distance, and from this vantage point, you can see the guy on the southern walkway who is swinging at the window.
Maybe some of us should have invested in a crossbow.
Maybe.
Especially me. I really should have brought a crossbow.
Should have brought a weapon of any kind.
I'm sure you're fine.
I didn't think of it. No Max.
Oh boy, this is where things get fun.
The windows are not down on the bottom between 4 and 5 on like an outer wall.
Yeah, it's basically the outer wall is just all window. It's a big atrium.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're looking across balconies to see that. Okay.
Yeah, the light gray space there is open space where you would fall to the main hall below.
Yeah.
Unless you landed on the cloud.
Unless you land on a cloud.
Jump across the clouds.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, Bug and Fleckwick, you both have a pretty good view of this. You see a squart little guy, barely bigger than a goblin, suddenly appear next to the guy who's breaking the window. And he's kind of sweaty and, like, out of breath when he appears, and you see that he is clutching the aspect helm directly over his head. He appeared as if from nowhere. That's the wrong color.
Fleckwick will call across. Didn't you see the sign on the tank?
That would be funny if there's actually like some kind of teleportation gravity well inside the Megalodon tank, and that's why you're not supposed to teleport.
That would be pretty funny. Yeah, that's all that guy does for now. Frannie, bring up the rear in combat.
Part was.
Sorry, say again?
I think I wasn't here for whatever that part was with the sign.
Oh, right. There's a sign on the Megalodon tank that says no teleportation, and some of the decorative skeletons in the pool look slightly less than decorative.
Oh. Are you sure? All skeletons everywhere are purely decorative.
I feel like that might be in poor taste considering our secret guest.
Oh, sorry, had the wrong canon in mind.
It's okay, they weren't close enough to hear. So what do you want to do on your turn?
And a gray one next to me is the guard that's left with this group.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My friends, I've lost my whole group that I was here with in the tour with, and they just ran off at the first sound of trouble because they love to help, and I'm sure they just want to see if they can be of some assistance in this situation. But I've lost them. I'm alone. I can't be alone. I've got to go get them.
Alright, you're kind of overwhelming this guy with your emotional outburst at this point, which is kind of stopping him from doing anything else productive. Is that the goal?
Well, I wanted to take off after them.
Okay, you can do that. Which one do you want to take off after?
We are all split up.
Yeah, and you're kind of slow. Certainly the slowest.
Yes. Who is the one? Who's the red one?
The red one is Bug, fastest. Bug the
Okay.
ogre.
Bug could probably block that wall by himself. All right, I'm gonna run off after Fleckwick.
Okay.
Who is also not all that fast. Slow team. It's good if we can keep up.
So you run towards the aquarium, and that's about as far as you get. Not even line of sight to the action going on there.
Does Bug know the throw spell?
Bug does not know the throw spell, but he's good at throwing things.
Just by default.
Yeah, by default. I was thinking the same thing. Is it possible to like delay my turn to throw my buddies?
I have let people delay before, but you can only delay to the bottom of the round. Once initiative starts over, you've given up your turn.
Okay.
So the faster you are, the more options you have for how far you can delay, and the slower you are, the fewer options you have. But fast as you are not the fastest in this particular conflict, because you can see popping out from behind the wall is the head of security with his crossbow out. And he is going to fire at that fucked up little guy who's holding the aspect helm. Which means that I get to roll dice against myself. Everyone's favorite.
How fun.
He's a
Schizophrenia.
That's the best part of GMing.
Best part.
Getting to talk to yourself.
Okay, off to an interesting start. That's going to be a crit. So the head of security inflicts an impaled wound upon that much smaller individual. So that guy is going to be having a rough time of it for the immediate future.
Let's see, impaled is
Minus a 2 die penalty to strongness and quickness. So those are the combat stats. So that guy's effed.
Which of his important internal organs got hit that time?
If you can get him in front of the inverted mirror, you'll probably find out. Alright. Bug, you have just seen that happen, and you also hear the head of security bellow out, "You drop that helmet this instant, or I'll poke you so full of holes they'll be able to see through you easier than that window you just broke."
These guys are further than 100 feet away from me.
A little bit.
Okay.
I'd say that you could probably reach the closest one, the smallest guy who's holding the helmet.
Hmm.
We might want to try just not getting involved, since the head of
Yeah.
security seems to have this in hand.
But the
Unless, of
helmet.
course, I don't know, man. I saw that mirror of death, and it's telling me that if we try anything if we try too hard right now, all we're gonna get for our trouble is a bunch of impaled wounds.
Mm,
One question.
Mhm.
Who has the miniature version of the aspect helm?
I assumed the goon.
I guess I have it.
Okay. It's canon then.
In his many burlap sacks.
Mm-hmm.
You have one very
Perhaps a
small
mid-
burlap
He's actually
sack.
got it in one of his cargo pant pockets.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. What a twist.
Mixing things up.
Well,
And could we use
then
that thing to our advantage somehow? Anyhow.
It's possible.
in the scenario where this museum gets shut down temporarily because of this thieving attack, I would rather be on the good side of the guards instead of just being a random civilian. So I'm going to run up to the two little thieves, the one with the helmet.
Okay. The other one is quite a bit taller.
Okay.
They're both pretty scruffy looking, sort of down on their luck kind of appearance.
Are either of them were-rats?
Neither of them are were-rats.
Hmm.
And am I still able to attack, or is it just my movement, full movement, that I'm allowed to do this time?
That would just be your full movement. But you are now
Make sure
adjacent.
make sure to notify the head of security that you're there to help and not there to hinder.
I'm helping! I say to everyone there.
Okay, they all know now. Little
That'll be
3-foot
my
tall
turn.
guy just kind of looks up at you, and then you say you're helping, and then just, that's a relief. Kind of look passes over his face.
Yes.
I don't think he understood what Bug is saying.
Probably
Fortunately, I think there's enough hit points between the two of them that Bug is going to be able to demonstrate. Assuming that the
Assuming Wolfman
assuming
impales me
that
many times.
assuming that Wolfman doesn't take it the wrong way as well and turn Bug and shoot Bug.
Thing is, I'm not sure
We'll
Bug
see.
knows who he's saying it to.
Bug, from your position at the window, you can clearly see that there is an absolutely gigantic crab smashing its way through the town square and heading straight for the museum.
Giant enemy crab.
You
Oh
can
my
also
God.
see that the
The
giant
museum
enemy
is in
crab,
Maryland.
the giant crab appears to be wearing a fedora. It's entirely
Is this
possible
supposed-
that this crab is also a criminal.
The Goon?
Yes,
Are you half giant crab?
I might be. I'll have to check.
Okay. And that'll be my turn.
Around the same time, Frannie, since you're the only one who's still, like, within line of sight of your original tour group, you're the only one who notices that your tour guide immediately undergoes, like, a change of demeanor from, like, perky tour guide trying to keep everybody calm and collected and gathered in the same place to assassin. And she pulls a knife out of somewhere and just absolutely murks the nearby guard. So that gray dot is no longer a guard. It is now a tour guide undercover assassin.
brutal.
Well, have fun with that. Unless you want, unless I don't think I can move fast enough to help.
The Goon, you are up next.
Do I see the assassination occur?
You do not have line of sight to that, no.
Can somebody who did can Frannie make me aware that the assassination has occurred?
That's up to Frannie, but the tour guide definitely makes eye contact with you and like puts her finger up to her lips in a don't squeal kind of thing.
Wait, she already squealed.
No, she's squealing. Okay, the Goon, you are aware that your tour guide is involved in some way.
The Goon is kind of like caught between a rock and a hard place. He's gonna what he's thinking fast. What he's gonna do is first he's gonna go to the he's gonna be like he's gonna end up deciding that, you know what, Bug can probably handle himself as long as he doesn't do anything exceptionally stupid. Which is
Not
asking a lot. But hopefully he knows to not anger the guy who can definitely kill him. And will do the right thing. So he's going to leave Bug to his own devices, and he's gonna go to help the Frannie. But first, he realizes he's gonna like say to the security. What does the security guard doing? But actually,
The security guard was about to beat your head in with a nightstick, but upon hearing Frannie's warning, he kind of looks to the north and is like, "Oh, what's going on?" Distracted, if you will.
You know, I want to cave his skull in, but I have to go help. But the Goon realizes that teaching a lesson to foolish security guards isn't his priority now. His priority now is probably helping his less than combat capable allies. Because Frannie is not winning any fights. Actually, Fleckwick might win some fights. I forget that Fleckwick is absolutely jacked and has knacks and fisticuffs and headlocks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Fleckwick could probably beat you up head to head.
Well, that's why I never get in a fair fight.
Good policy.
I'm gonna run towards the the rest of the group just because they're closer.
Okay.
I'm just going to, since the guard is distracted and doesn't see what's in the sack of bones, I'm assuming.
Doesn't notice. That's correct.
And he's just gonna move past and just like, sorry, sir. It sounds like I've got to go help out my friends. And we'll just kind of like shuffle on by, completely like, he's like completely dismissive of the security of this random security guard.
All right.
And he's gonna.
Through the window mirror to the south of you, you can see that he is mad about that.
Well, you know, hopefully he'll focus on doing his damn job, you know?
One would hope.
Then again, you know, he's not a professional, unlike the Goon. So, does the assassin notice the Goon?
Yes, she seems quite aware of her surroundings, and she notices you hustling back to the group.
Alright, well, I hope you guys can, you know, I hope I don't die. Alright, I think that's the end of my turn, right?
Yeah. The criminal over by the window takes a second swing with the nylon rope post and smashes in one section of that window. So, right here is, I guess it's pink, is an open space that leads out onto the balcony. And he actually is going to step out onto the balcony so as not to be in line of sight with the head of security. So he's outside now. Draw some extra map. And brings us to the guards. The one that you just left behind is going to run up behind you, the goon. So you are now flanked by two people who are not on the same side. But they both look like they want to beat your ass. And that brings us to Fleckwick.
Fleckwick is also aware of the assassin, given that Frannie was right behind him.
Yes, you heard.
And kind of looks back towards them, and then he really does not want to fail he who cuts the threads. And also, Frannie made it look fun, so he's going to start trying to jump across the clouds.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna die.
Alright, so this will be... Jumping is just part of your movement. Let me see here. You have a strongness of 7, so you don't need to roll. You can just do it. You don't get too far on the first try, but a second movement is going to get you the rest of the way across. The fucked up little guy who's carrying the aspect helm is gonna once again look up at you, Bug, and then look at the head of security and look back up at you and just be like, "Thanks for the help, but things are getting a little hot here." And then you're gonna hear him take a deep breath, and he is just gonna disappear.
But was he ever there?
Fleckwick, you notice him reappear on the opposite balcony. Again looking very sweaty and out of breath, as if he had just run.
Well, Bug's getting shot, I think.
Fleckwick is going to swear.
Oh. I was scared for a second.
Wait, Fleckwick, tell Bug who we're supposed to be whacking right now. Which is to say, the guy on the balcony. Oh wait, no. He went back across the balcony. Whack.
He's in the aquarium now. Ish.
Anyway, I'm now regretting not murdering that guard when I had the chance.
No good deed goes unpunished. Brings us back down to Frannie.
Wait, the guard at the other guard.
The guard who's in the Hall of Mirrors.
Murdered.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes?
Does this system have opportunity attacks?
It does not. Unless you
Noted.
have a spell.
Did the guard turn into the assassin or the tour guide?
The tour guide turned into the assassin and killed one of the guards. The other guard is also present. Doesn't seem to have put 2 and 2 together yet. They are both presently sizing up to beat the crap out of the goon.
I'm gonna quickly indicate the murderer. It was her. She done it. And Frannie believes it is never the wrong time to save somebody's life.
Hmm.
And is it possible to save the guard?
Theoretically, you want to cast your regeneration spell?
I do.
Oh, she's so nice.
Maybe I'll win us an ally.
Maybe.
Well, I have to upcast
Temporary allies.
all of my mana and my maximum cast.
Yeah, you worked it out so you can exactly cast this spell.
With
Okay.
one up.
So you scoot back a little closer to the assassin, and you cast your spell. Since it doesn't remove wounds, but simply turns them into something less lethal, the guard is still unconscious, but they're getting a good nap right now, so they'll be right as rain in a few minutes.
Awesome. Still out of the fight, not going to beat up the goon. But not bleeding everywhere.
The other guard sees you do this, recognizes what you have done, and like smiles and tips his hat and even looks to the goon and says, "Alright, same team." And all three of you are now facing down the assassin.
Excellent.
And that brings us back to the top of the round. The head of security, he never told you his name, but I'm just going to start calling him Lobo for quickness. That was his name before he got turned into a wolf guy during the war. Not sure which war. Is gonna
I
pump.
thought the war made people get turned into.
The war did a lot of things to a lot of people. Lobo heads back out onto the walkway and like quickly casts about to see what's going on. And does notice that the guy holding the actual artifact he's trying to save has merely changed positions. So he's going to take a shot at that guy. Which is definitely going to hit, because that guy's rolling poopy dice. But it's not another crit this time. So that little guy now has 2 wounds and looks like he probably can't take a whole lot more. Lobo has not acknowledged you at all, Bug. And also seems to consider the guy who's outside on the balcony a lower priority target. So what is it that you would like to do on your turn?
There are numerous cloud things in this grayed out area here.
That's right.
Bug is going to use full movement to try and move to the right side of across the clouds and to the right side of the thief with the helmet.
Okay.
Trying to block off that pathway.
Alright, with your high strongness, you can just do that, no problem.
Okay. I know he can teleport, but, you know, that probably costs mana, so maybe he can't do it.
He doesn't look too hot each time he does it either.
Yes, exactly. Dude's
There'd be
winded.
Kind of wound.
Okay. The crab draws closer. And is now grappling with the ogre, who is down there taking tickets.
Oh no.
The crab is almost twice the size. Just for reference.
No.
Wait, how? Does the goon? I suppose the goon hasn't even seen the crab yet.
Not yet.
So bigness 30. That's a lot of wounds.
A lot of wounds.
I'm wondering if I can convince the crab to join the he who cuts the threads team.
That'd be pretty dope. What you do here, just as you're crossing the clouds, Bug, is as the crab pulls up, you see it stick one massive claw up and, like, wave, and said, I'm here, boss, here for the getaway, let's go!
Ride.
And the guy who broke the window seems to have been expecting this to happen.
Mhm.
The assassin kind of looks back and forth between the 3 combatants that she's now up against. Oh, let's see. I got her stats here. She decides that she doesn't much want to fight you guys. 3 against 1.
Little does she know.
So she is going to sort of rear back. You see her puff up her cheeks, and she exhales a cloud of smoke, sort of just targeting the ground around herself. She is now completely concealed within a cloud of smoke. Frannie and the Goon, you are both kind of on the edges of it.
Can I like spread out my arms to block her, to block their movement?
You can try. So you're doing your best to block that hallway. Frannie, do you want to do the same?
Can I like?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you what? Oh, you were saying, can I do something, but I cut you off there.
Oh, I was about to just say, like, can I signal to Frannie to do the same thing? Or, like,
The signal would have to be verbal, because you can't see her right now.
yeah, but they did it themselves, so.
Yeah, okay.
Frannie loves taking up space and blocking people from getting anywhere.
Just giving them a big hug.
Big hug. On that subject, the Goon, it is in fact your turn.
What to do? Only squirrels could see could see through smoke.
That's definitely maybe true.
Let's see. Can I like shuffle around a bit and see if I can't figure out where the assassin is?
Sure.
Actually, since the assassin casts a spell, she can't move other than a few.
That's true. She should theoretically still be quite nearby in the cloud.
How much space can I cover wildly swinging my lead pipe in front of me?
Equal to your bigness.
Equal to my bigness. So yeah. I'm a bigness 6. I'm pretty sure that means I can cover the entire possible area of the assassin with my lead pipe, right?
Yeah, if you want to try to attack her, you can. You're going to have 1 less die than usual, but since you have a knack, you'd still have 1 die.
Alright, let's give her a whack. And she can't see me anymore, right?
It does go both ways, as far as you know.
Does this mean that I can sneak attack?
Yeah, if you hit, you can. Or, no, I guess, you have to commit to trying to sneak attack, and then it's hit or miss, yeah. So, yes, I'll allow that. Go ahead and cast.
Alright, sneak attack. And I am going to upcast this to level 10, spending 60 mana, so that any hit causes an additional missing blood wound.
Nice. That's how you get ahead.
And then I'm going to roll a d12, and I got a 17 total.
17? Alright, let's see what she gets. Less than that, not by a whole lot, but you come out on top there, so that is a hit.
Wait.
Behind you, a three-headed monkey.
Wait, hang on. That was the wrong soundboard. That was the right soundboard. Well, I suppose my super secret sneak attack technique has been revealed now.
I guess.
But yeah, okay. So that should be 1 concussed wound and 1 missing blood wound then.
Yeah.
The goon's just gonna shout like, "I got her."
Oh, trust me, they heard.
Did you manage to knock her into a mirror?
No, unfortunately.
No, the lead pipe just does that sometimes, you know?
It's just the sound it makes. Alright, that brings us to the guy on the balcony who is going to go ahead and notice that his companion is not doing so hot all of a sudden.
Did they hear the...
I think, yeah, everybody heard that. Not sure what it was, but they heard it.
For future reasons, I'm just going to say that the lead pipe doesn't do that every time.
Trying to cover your ass. It's a stealth weapon, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it is a slickness weapon.
You see the guy on the balcony pull a knife and go to stab Lobo in the back. But Lobo seems to be very aware. You see his ear twitch, his wolfy ear twitch. And he does a flip and lands on the balcony railing, on the walkway. So he doesn't get hurt.
Slick moves, this guy.
Well, that was a bad move.
Oh right, we're not gonna be. It's gonna be hard as hell to actually even hit Lobo because he's got absurdly high quickness.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second, quickness is just dexterity, but even more powerful now.
It's true.
It's AC, it's most saves, and it's also directly tied to movement speed.
Sounds like D&D.
I suppose it is. It isn't directly tied to weapon attacks, but there is a knack that does that. So
Yeah. Actually, aren't bows quickness?
range weapons by default are slickness.
Okay. Gotcha.
Alright. The guard who is on your team is going to follow your example and try to take a swing at that assassin. But yeah, he's gonna miss. He doesn't have your level of skill.
He's just not as slick.
It's not as slick. Fleckwick, that brings us back to you.
Well, I am going to try and get on the other side of the short person holding the helm. I'm assuming that I can't get him in a headlock on this turn.
That unfortunately is true. Although there are no attacks of opportunity, you are able to just straight up block an area, so unless he does still have the mana to teleport, that guy is now pretty well and truly trapped. And he's also holding the thing that you guys are here for. Judging by the look on his face, you don't think that he's got another teleport just yet.
If only he weren't within view of the guards and the security guard and everyone, and then we could have him right where we want him.
Yeah. Just a heads up, guys, it is 7:09, so we're coming up on the end, so I'm going to have to fiat the end of this if it doesn't come to a distinct conclusion shortly, so let's go.
Okay.
That little guy now takes his turn. And he's kind of an idiot. And still thinks that Bug is trying to help. Because none of you have attacked him yet. He is going to toss the helm to you, Bug.
Oh.
And say, I can't pause anymore! You need to take it! I gotta get out of here!
Oh my god, he's a chronomancer.
This is dangerous. This is worse than teleporting.
This is great.
Wait, damn, this guy must be a tank then. Doesn't pause do paradox wounds too?
Yeah?
Sometimes.
Oh, it's a 1d6 to get paradox.
He's still up for
Okay.
now. Alright, Frannie, that brings us to you. There's still an unseen assassin. What you got?
Ooh. I don't really think that I have anything other than to just keep blocking the way so that the assassin can't get out of here.
I will say, you have a penalty die because you can't see, so you're rolling one less die than usual. But even if you roll 0 dice, you can still just have your stat and make them roll against it. So if you want to try to attack, you can.
Can I attack with bigness? Because otherwise, I don't think that's going to work out for me.
Probably right. Saying it's an option. Alright then, so you just want to block as much space as you can. You're effectively
Big
blocking...
hug. Let me just go for the big hug. Maybe I can stop her.
You can try. I mean, that would also be a strongness roll for headlocks, and, the same thing would be in effect. So you would have a 2, and she'd be rolling against your 2. But because you are so big, you can passively block, like, the entire hallway, because you've got your 10-foot space, and then your 10-foot reach. And that little gap that you're in is only 20 feet wide. So if you just stay where you are, then you will know if she tries to run past you.
The best thing to do sometimes is just stay where you are.
Sometimes.
I just stay where I am.
Okay. Back to the top of the round, which of course is Lobo.
Bug frantically looking around. Oh.
You drop that right now! And he is going to take a warning shot directly into your head.
That's okay.
That's a
He's
good
big
warning
enough,
shot.
it's fine.
Warning shot.
Yeah, so this is a quickness roll to avoid... Or, you've got... What do you have? You have shields?
I've got shields. I can roll strongness.
Okay, yeah. I assume you're rolling that then, since you get the extra die.
Yeah.
Look, Bug, all I'm gonna say is that, Bug, is that if you can get past line of sight, we might be able to... I might be able to pull off some bullshit. If we can quickly swap, if I can quickly get the real one in a sack and have you holding the fake one, we might be able to
Sneak
pull
thing
this
out
off.
here. Okay.
Okay, I
my-
rolled a 32.
Okay. I can succeed. My first roll was an 11. My second dice is another 11, so 22, 32.
32. Okay, well, players win on ties.
Oh. Somehow barely lift up my shield in time.
Yeah, it deflects into the aquarium directly behind you, which causes water to start kind of gushing out.
Oh no.
Here we go.
Bug, you're too big, so you're fine. Fleckwick, you need to make a quickness roll. Target number is 8 to not slide through the safety railing.
All right. That is a 3 + 4 for a 7.
A 7.
Goodbye, Fleckwick. Okay, so this guy's probably got a knack with bows, and he rolled that high. I just gotta pray that this guy doesn't have a knack for anti bullshit. Because if he does, then I'm probably pretty screwed. But if he doesn't, there might be a chance we can bullshit our way out of this one. But I don't know.
So Fleckwick, you slide off of the balcony and land below. Kaboom! And the little guy lands next to you, and he is looking beat up. You have taken 1 battered wound, Fleckwick.
Oh, so at least it's not a busted wound.
At least. If it was a little bit farther fall, then maybe. The floors are pretty tall, it's like a 20-foot ceiling. But yeah, it's a 1 die penalty to strongness and quickness, so you are rolling d10s for strongness and quickness rather than d12s.
All right.
Bug, it is now your turn. What are you going to do?
Bug does not have any burlap sacks, unfortunately, so he is going to hide the helmet in his mouth. Is going to use his action to rage, and he is going to jump after Fleck.
Okay.
He's gonna use a.
Okay, so we're going for the. I guess just keep running. Keep running. They might get too distracted with the crab.
Solid chance.
Yeah, and we have to hit the gift shop on our way out. And that's my turn.
Okay. You jump down rather than falling, so I will allow you to roll strongness. Target number is, again, let's say 8 to avoid taking a wound.
Since I am
but you
raging,
can't fail, so you just do it.
Fair enough.
You land safely. You are next to Fleckwick and to the poor little bastard who is kind of lying on the floor with like little stars and birds floating above his head in a ring. But he's not instantly dead, which indicates that he's not a mook. He's actually just a regular guy. Possibly a wizard, remains to be seen. A wizard would be able to expend fierceness to get back up and keep doing stuff.
Would I still be able to, like, pick up little guy and just, I don't know, put him on my head?
He is quite small, so yes.
Guy. Pick up Fleckwick.
Okay. Hey, Fleckwick can climb on me.
You can pick them both up.
Sure.
All right.
Carry all of them?
Stow my axe, but keep my shield in hand.
Yeah, Fleckwick is bigness 6. This guy's bigness 3, so that's 9 bigness. Guy's got 10 strongness, so you can carry that and the helm. That's actually your full encumbrance. You're good.
Okay.
You also have the chickens, though, right?
Oh, the chickens.
Ditch the little guy.
I might be tempted.
Doesn't work for he who cuts the threads.
So do you want to hold on to the chickens and pick up one less person, or do you want to drop the chickens?
Give me the chickens. I'll head for the gift shop. You head out the back.
Okay. Give him the bag of chickens.
All right. You have the merchandise.
Yes. Oh, I so wanted to put the helmet on one of the chickens.
Wait, you should have just put the helmet in the bag of chickens.
I can't look. I in my house.
I suppose that's fair.
That's fair.
Carry on.
Alright, following some shouted orders from the outside balcony, the crab smashes through one of the revolving doors and starts, like, feeling around with a giant claw, like, don't worry, boss, I can still get it, I can still get it. He can't still get it. Actually, it makes more sense for him to be here, doesn't it? I think... Yeah, as a direct result of the concussion, that assassin is not able to do what she originally wanted to do to escape from this situation.
Oh, nice.
Doesn't that waste their action too?
Well, she is aware of what concussing does, and she just knows that it's not worth trying, so... she's going to do something other than what she wanted.
Lose me. My internet's acting weird.
Well, if you suddenly drop, then we'll know why. But we're almost done, so hopefully it's not a problem.
Cool.
She is going to take a swing at the Goon. So,
Oh, no.
roll... quickness.
I got an 11.
Okay.
Or is that with -1 die?
I will say that you don't have a penalty die because you're not actually in the cloud, so you can see the knife poking out of it. 11. Ooh. She rolled real high, though. Actually, that's going to be a crit. 22.
Unfortunate. Okay.
Okay, so the Goon, you have one impaled wound. Very serious. So 2 die penalty to strength and quickness, so you're rolling d8s for those stats now. Your actual values don't change at all. And it is your turn, Mr. the Goon, sir.
Ah, I need a medic bag.
Oh, just give me a few minutes. I can fix that. Just give me a few minutes. I have no mana.
1 point into focus.
Well, let's see. I've recovered up to 15 mana. I could summon a squirrel, I think.
Powerful.
But I'm not sure what that would actually help in this situation. So I guess instead I'm just going to take a swing at them again.
Okay. So same thing, you've got 1 less die than normal, and also... Oh no, you're rolling slickness, so your actual die size is the same.
Yeah.
And
So that's another 17 slickness.
17. Okay, well she fails that roll, so that is a hit.
It's another battered wound, I think.
Yep. Okay, her
So
stats.
concussed is 1 die to quickness, slickness, and fierceness, and then battered is 1 die to strongness and quickness.
Okay, got it. So that's another solid hit.
Not a crit though.
Not a crit, no. Still good. The guy outside, seeing that stuff is pretty fucked, is going to leap off the balcony and onto the crab's back. The crab is so giant that it's actually not that far down. And he's going to call, Nina, Bung, get on the getaway crab!
I knew it. I knew it. He's the car.
The guard is also going to take a swing at the assassin lady. And her dice is so shitty at this point that he's actually going to hit. But he's only dealing scratched and bruised wounds, it looks like, so...
How big was the assassin?
She was about 6 feet tall. And if you've been counting, she's been taking 4 wounds at this point, so... she's getting down there.
Alright, she's also missing blood.
Yep.
Quickness, fierceness, and hygiene.
Yeah, it's... her penalties are for sure adding up. Fleckwick. Down on the main hall. You were going for the gift shop?
I've got the chickens. I'm gonna make a dash towards the gift shop.
Okay, and your plan is basically to just buy something and run?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Business.
The little beat-up guy is gonna unsteadily crawl to his feet and start limping for the door. It's gonna take him a while, but he's on his way.
I'm holding him.
Oh, you're
He's
holding
on
him?
your head, isn't he?
So you are, like, preventing him from doing that?
I'm not holding on to him. I placed him on my head for safekeeping. He can
Okay.
crawl off if he wants to.
He's trying to hop down and run. Are you gonna stop him or no?
I will stop him.
Okay. Well, he's not. He can't stop you from stopping him, so
Okay.
he's effed.
I just keep my hand on my head.
Why are you taking him?
He is good at magic. We could use his magic.
I suppose if we get out of here, he would be a good addition to the one who cuts the threads, Renuti.
Could be. Bringing up the rear here, Frannie. What are you gonna do?
Keep interposing. I gotta recover some mana.
I mean, you can always take a whack at somebody. Try and take a whack at her.
With my fist. Yes.
Hey, you got
But I can't
fists.
see her still, right?
She's still in the cloud, so you would still have a penalty die, and therefore be
Rolling a 2.
rolling a 2 against her.
You really gotta train whatever it is that you can let you attack hammers. You gotta swing
If
hammers.
your
Yeah.
fierceness is higher than, you could push it.
I don't think. I think Emlo's character only really has only really has hygiene and bigness.
You know, I wanted to say that in the time that I've spent playtesting, I actually don't like the if your fierceness is highest rule, so you can push any stat regardless of what your fierceness is. Yeah, so if you
Rules
want
change.
to willingly take 1 strained wound, you could give yourself a bonus die. And then you would have a chance to hit her.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna push my strongness then.
Okay.
That's enough out of you, you dirty, nasty criminal.
Okay. So you're gonna have a
roll.
You're going to have a die penalty to strongness, but that doesn't take effect until the end of your turn, so you can go ahead and roll a d12. See if you hit.
I threw a 6, so I'm gonna add my +2 and hope.
And so an 8, but she rolled a 15.
Wow, even
Wait,
with the
I'm wrong. I'm definitely wrong. Yeah, I forgot the die penalty. Let me try that again. She rolled still a 10.
Damn.
So a near miss, but she definitely feels the whiff. And also at
Felt
this
the
point,
breeze on that one.
yeah, the smoke clears and you can now plainly see her. Her tour guide uniform is all scuffed up from the fighting. She's still got like a very determined and murdery look on her face, and she's doing that like cool crouching pose with her knife, held backwards, and like the other hand is just like kind of obscuring, blocking her face menacingly, like an anime character. Which brings us to the bottom of the round, and it is just about 7:30. So to clarify, the goal is for Fleckwick to go and buy some shit. For a Bug, are you just planning to, like, run?
Kind of, yeah.
Take the helmet and run? Okay. And
break down some doors and go out the back.
Fleckwick, Frannie, and the Goon have not actually done anything wrong yet, other than leave the spot you were supposed to be standing, so if Bug can run...
I'm also carrying Joanna Huevos.
Oh yeah.
But I plan to bullshit my way out of that issue. I have some ideas.
Okay.
We needed a bag of beef barf. Would absolutely absolve.
At this point, to save time, I'm going to fiat this and say circumstances have gone enough in your guys' favor that you can probably make this work. Bug, since you established friendship with the door ogre earlier, not only is he not going to try to stop you, he is going to hold back the crab to stop it from chasing you. And with your 10 quickness, you can flee with Bung in tow.
New friend.
The rest of you, again, as far as anybody knows at this time, have done nothing wrong. So in the ensuing confusion, you can slip out with Trudy as well.
New friends!
Which leads us with just one critical question. What are you going to buy at the gift shop? They have t-shirts, they have hats, they do in fact have little tiny replica aspect helms the exact same size as the magic one you guys have, which was going to be a whole thing if you guys had gone into the gift shop first.
I am going to get...
They have plushies.
I'm assuming that I can get two things with two chickens, probably.
Probably.
So I'm going to grab one of the tiny helms, because it feels appropriate, and I'm also going to... Do they have any snow globes?
They absolutely have snow globes.
I'm going to get a snow globe.
Okay. So you get a snow globe and a tiny fake replica aspect helm, and in change, you also get 3 freshly made pancakes, small ones, and a marble. A little glass marble.
Oh, in change? Okay.
Yes. Barter system.
Nice.
Imagine that you're just, like, frantically bartering with the clerk at the store to get this deal, and then just kind of leaving. So yeah, the crab is held back by the ogre. The assassin, instead of continuing to fight, runs, and it turns out she does have the running knack and wall running, so she gets away.
Oh, she's so cool.
The crab ultimately...
What, she doesn't get shot?
No, because the only guy who's going to be able to hit her is trying to shoot at the guy who's stealing the helmet. But you make it out into the city, so you are away scot-free, as unfortunately is the assassin, the crab, and the guy who seems to be the ringleader. Because that crab is ultimately stronger than the ogre and manages to get itself free. But yeah. A little bit of a close call at the end there. But you manage to retreat with your target item in tow and some other shit besides. So very well done, guys. Just the last thing that I would like to do is tell you how much training time you get.
I'm so going to train parrying.
Can I,
Oh wait, can I increase one of my wizard stats?
Yes. It is the end of a conflict, so any spell that you cast, you can increase the maximum cast, and if you met any of the requirements, you can increase your focus, your channeling, or your mana pool.
Yay.
Let's see. What are the rules for that?
What are the rules for that?
Page
All right.
5 of
Spend
the
total
text.
mana equal to or exceeding your channeling value. Spend mana equal to or exceeding your channeling value on a single spell. Run out of mana. I didn't do that. I guess I'll improve my mana pool then.
Running out of mana is pretty hard to do unless you can combo cast.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you...
Especially because the... yeah, and also because it's a odd number.
Yes.
Usually. So let's see. I get to increase my mana pool by 1d12. I rolled a 1.
Nice.
Brilliant.
Excellent. Now that's up to a 70.
I did cast Rage, so I will increase my channeling by a d8.
Mm-hmm.
For 2.
2, okay.
Lovely.
Wait, so what kind of die do you roll to increase things?
Which one do you want to increase? You can increase your mana pool, or your channeling, or the maximum cast of regeneration.
It's or, is it? Well, alright, I'll take max cast.
Max cast. So that would be a d6.
Got a 5.
Nice.
Nice round number.
Fleckwick unfortunately didn't cast a spell this combat, but that kind of balances out because you got the 3 level up earlier. And all of you, as a result of your glorious success and meeting additional requirements, you get 23 days of training once you make your way back to the crawling crypt where you guys live.
I am picking up.
You don't have to figure it out right now if you want. We got a whole week to sort that out on Discord.
23 days towards 1 punch? No.
It's like hammer. Maybe.
Parrying immediately. Oh wait, hang on. But if I take parrying, won't I still be impaled? Actually, no. Can't. Sometime during the training time, can somebody just like cast a regeneration spell on me?
Yeah, today. Just give me a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the extreme benefits of having somebody available who can heal the worst of your wounds. Let's see.
Wait. Actually, I'm not sure about impaled.
Yeah,
That's a more expensive upcast.
Yeah, that would be an extra plus 10. So impaled specifically, you can't fix.
Dang.
Darn. Okay, well in that case, I'm gonna be. I mean,
limitations.
How bad is impaled, really?
It takes 5 days to recover.
No, because think about it. All impaled does, it's 1 wound, okay, and then it's a 2-die penalty to strongness and quickness. I don't roll strongness very much.
That's true.
Right?
Fair
and
enough.
I'm not going to need to roll. I'm probably never going to need to roll quickness again if I pick up parrying, right?
Hmm.
That is certainly
I mean, what else
a
is
choice you
quickness
could
used
make.
for? I mean, the die penalty doesn't affect how far I can walk or run.
True.
Right? Or the turn order.
You're just going to spend the rest of your life with an arrow in your stomach.
All the way in there.
Yeah. How'd you get
Oh no, actually it was done with a knife, so you don't
Okay,
even have the arrow.
I can be 3 days towards getting better. But probably not worth it, so I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with my other 3 days of rest time.
Yeah.
Training time.
Everybody else has minor wounds, which aren't going to affect your training, which go away with a night's rest, so you don't have to worry about that. Frannie, the one limit that you have is that you have a strained wound, which means that the first day of training that you have, you can't train something that's based on strongness.
Such as hammers. Boom.
Such as, yeah.
Hammers is bigness.
Oh yeah, hammers is bigness, so that one's
Oh.
fine.
Well, good. That's the stat I use anyway.
So yeah,
Hang on. Here's a reason why I might care about the die penalty. On fire.
Hmm.
I do have to roll quickness versus 10 to stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah.
If being on fire comes up while we're training, like in our training period, we're
It does
doing
give
something.
me a die bonus to being on fire, though. I'm thinking about the next time this character becomes relevant. It does give me a die bonus, so I've only got a 30% chance to continue burning to death.
hmm.
Plus, burned is another penalty.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
burned is actually die penalties to quickness. So hopefully I don't get set on fire because I might burn to death.
Hopefully.
Well, actually, would getting doused by beef put out a fire?
No, but it would make the beef taste better.
I think I can just, straight up cook the beef if I...
Yeah, instant cook.
Yeah, and it makes people hungry. So, yeah, get set on fire. It just works.
And
all
then I'll
just works.
burn to death.
I mean, probably not all the way to death.
I mean, like, I suppose I'll probably just end up having to push it if that comes up.
Frannie is going to be that fellow magic student wizard and make you lie down and take your rest instead of putting yourself in a position where you could catch on fire.
I explicitly refuse because if I've already done the mental math, if I lie down and rest, I'm gonna be slightly short of picking up parrying because that's slickness 200, so it takes 20 days, right? And parrying is going to prevent more damage, most likely. It's gonna prevent more wounds than taking a rest and getting rid of that impaled wound, especially since not only does it let me use slickness to avoid wounds, it also lets me roll an extra die since it's a knack, right?
Yep.
Your training will be parrying Frannie away from you.
Okay, guys, this has been so much fun. We're gonna meet again next week for the follow-up adventure to this one. If you could do me a favor, could you note down what you're doing for training in the Discord? Just because I'm a little brain fried right now to take all those notes. And I'm gonna hop off of voice chat, wrap up this stream, and convene again in 1 week's time, alright?
Sounds
Awesome.
good to me.
All right.
Okay.
Excellent.
Good playing with you.